Ladies and gentlemen, tonight we are finally live for this edition of a live race commentary live stream on the channel. It's not even the evening anymore, and the twilight hour at the Daytona International Speedway for the running of the Wawa 250 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series, the fourth to last race of the regular season for the Xfinity Series coming into tonight's action. And after a roughly 3-hour rain delay, we're about to get things kick-started here today, and we're going to take you through the full field starting lineup as soon as they give the command to start engines, which it actually looks like they are starting engines right now in the garage, because no cars were pulled out onto pit road because of inclement weather over the past few hours at the Daytona International Speedway, but they are getting ready to get going. Let me know if the audio is fine for you guys. I do have to keep it down because I do not live by myself. There are people sleeping that also have, one of which has to work tomorrow, has to get up about the same time as me, and so I am going to try to be as quiet as I possibly can, but I want to make sure that the audio is still at a good point. I will turn the fan off if it becomes too much of an issue for you guys. I'm just trying to dissipate the noise as much as I possibly can. But 100 laps will be the scheduled distance tonight, 250 miles, and we are going to have fun. And we do get to watch some Daytona racing under the lights on this Friday night. I had to grab my phone so I can get the chat for me to see you guys. Give me one quick second. Come on, phone. But yes, we are live. Audio's good. All right, that's great to hear. Siazy, XX Larry, Patrick Shadley, Slorud, Keith Campbell, Justin White, R6R6, Robert Neldon, Wade Selinsky, Igor Arohu, hopefully I said your last name correctly, Joseph C3, Sid for Brains, Ford EcoBoost Cup Series, Fur Express, Sports and Gaming Central, NASCAR HMS Fan, Michael Turner, and a lot of you guys waiting here over the last few hours. I've had I've had everything up and running for about the last hour, but the live stream just started a couple minutes ago. I didn't want to stream through all 3 hours because I needed to make sure I was getting everything prepped and ready to go, because I myself have to work tomorrow. So hopefully this race, I'm hoping, gets done right around like 12:30. If there's not a lot of cautions, I think it will. So that way at least I can get about 3.5 to 4 hours of sleep tomorrow, or I should say tonight, because it's going to be a long day tomorrow, too, with the Cup Series potentially racing at Daytona. Mark Witkowski, Terry Lewis, Major Kenneth Withrow, Jacob Watts, welcome to the stream as well. Be sure to hit that like button. Yep, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you are new. Live race commentary for the real NASCAR races on the race weekend, and the video game NASCAR races during the week, all in the hopes of hopefully getting myself into the commentating booth for future real NASCAR races down the road. Cars are at the end of pit road right now, all getting lined up as they're still exiting the garage area, and they'll have a couple of pace laps before we go green at the Daytona International Speedway. Time to bring you tonight's starting lineup for the Wawa 250 at the Daytona International Speedway. Again, the fourth to last regular season race for the Xfinity Series this season, and probably the last wild card race of the regular season to get into the playoffs for those well outside the cut line in a must-win situation. AJ Allmendinger will be on the pole here today, looking for his first win on an oval this season. Outside front row, Noah Gragson, a former Daytona winner in the Xfinity Series back in 2020. Sammy Smith and Sam Mayer will end up lining up in row number 2. Sammy Smith had a top 3 performance last week, career best in the Xfinity Series at Watkins Glen, and Sam Mayer looking for his first Xfinity Series win on the season. Josh Berry and Riley Herbst will line up in row 3. Josh Berry already locked into the playoffs with 2 wins earlier this season. Riley Herbst still looking for his first career Xfinity Series win tonight and lock himself into the 2022 playoffs. Sheldon Creed and Ty Gibbs will line up in row number 4. Creed comes in as a rookie in the Xfinity Series, first driver below the cutoff line coming into today's race. He's 39 points behind Ryan Sieg. in row number 10. And also for Ty Gibbs, the most winningest driver so far this season in the Xfinity Series, looking for win number 6 tonight. Jeremy Clements and Landon Castle will be in row number 5 for today's race. Castle is above the cutoff line, but only by about 57 points in the 10 seed currently, so he needs to stay out of trouble today and possibly get some stage points throughout the course of tonight's action. Ryan Sieg and Brandon Jones will line up in row number 6. Ryan Sieg, as mentioned, is the first driver above the cutoff line, 39 points to the good over Sheldon Creed. Anthony Alfredo, Austin Hill will line up in row 7. Austin Hill won the first Daytona race earlier this season in the spring. He also has a win at Atlanta on a super speedway so far this year as well. Justin Allgaier and Daniel Hemrick will line up in row number 8. The defending champion Hemrick starting mid-pack in tonight's race. Colleague Racing has won the last 2 races. In fact, the 11 car that Hemrick is driving has won the last 2 races for the Xfinity Series at Daytona. Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Blaine Perkins will line up in row number 9. Stenhouse Jr., one of only 2 Cup Series regulars who are running tonight's Xfinity Series race. And Perkins has a stage win in the Xfinity Series on a super speedway that came last season, so we know he knows how to run well on the super speedways in NASCAR. John Hunter Nemechek and Joe Graff Jr. will line up in row number 10. John Hunter, with the Truck Series off this weekend, is picking up the 26 ride this weekend and getting himself a little more experience in a Toyota, as he may go full-time racing next season for Toyota. It's not been announced who's going to take over for Ty Gibbs if Gibbs moves to the Cup Series. I think Nemechek is probably going to be the driver, so getting some extra seat time today. Alex LeBay and Myatt Snyder will end up in row number 11 for the start of today's race. Myatt Snyder had a nasty flip on the final lap of the first race at Daytona earlier this season. Hopefully he can have a much safer race today and get a good finish where he was running towards the front of the field in the top 5 before that wreck in the spring. Bailey Curry and Sage Karam will line up back in row number 12. And row 13 will be Brandon Brown, David Starr, Mason Massey, J.J. Yaley in row 14. Jeb Burton and Cesar Baccarella in row 15. Jeb Burton, his only career Xfinity Series win came on a super speedway at Talladega last year in the regular season for Colleague Racing. Joey Gase and Kyle Sieg will line up in row 16. Matt Mills, Jesse Wuji in row 17. Josh Williams, the late sub-in in the 5 car, will start on the inside of row 18 alongside Ryan Vargas. Timmy Hill and Justin Haley will round out the field. Again, Haley has won the last 2 Daytona races in the summer for the Xfinity Series. We'll see if he can get a 3-peat today for Colleague Racing and a 4th entry. And he is going to start last in the field as practice and qualifying got rained out for both the Cup and Xfinity Series earlier today. So again, that is today's starting lineup for the start of this race. Billy Carjoy, thanks for tuning into the stream. Time for the command. Yeah, we are almost there. I'm surprised I didn't do the pre-race invocation much earlier, considering it is already 10:30 Eastern Standard Time. 10:38 to be approximate. And it looks like they're about to roll right into the command following the national anthem. So here you go. Unless they go to commercial break here first, which I'm not sure. Nope, here it is.
Wawa Regional Marketing Manager Kevin McGrath, accompanied by Wawa Area Manager Stephanie Andrews. Race fans, are you ready?
Are you ready?
Drivers, start your engine! Fired up.
Let me know if the in-race audio is loud enough for you guys. Whoops. Let me know if the audio was loud enough for you guys. I can turn it up just a hair if I need to. Again, just trying to keep things down with it being much later at night so I don't awake anybody as much as I possibly can. Raji, thanks for tuning into the stream. I thought I missed the race. No, you did not. It was just a major rain delay. I tried to keep you guys updated in the community tab on a couple posts throughout the course of the evening during the rain delay, as well as during the actual chat on this live stream before the stream went live for a couple hours, giving you updates on what was going on and just constantly watching a rainy Daytona International Speedway, but we are all good to go now. We are about ready to go racing finally this weekend. Going with the Dinger to win. He has never won on a super speedway in the Xfinity series. McCulloch Racing pretty good though. I think that's a good pick. The driver who I am going to pick to win today's race is going to be the guy who has won the most races so far this season. I don't have money on him tonight, but I am taking Ty Gibbs to win tonight's race. I didn't put money on this race because I wasn't. I was just worried about trying to get this stream in and trying to, focus on how I'm gonna set everything up and get out of here as soon as possible and get to bed as soon as this checkered flag waves today. So we are not gonna have a very long post-race show. It's gonna be very brief. We'll run through the full finishing order at the end of the night, but that would be about it. Again, thanks for everybody tuning in. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. There will be no live commentary of the Cup Series race tomorrow night, but if the Cup Series race gets rained out tomorrow night, they run on Sunday afternoon, I will likely be able to do live commentary on Sunday. As long as the race starts from anywhere from 2 o'clock or later, I will be able to likely do live commentary for the Cup Series race tomorrow. I'm probably 90% certain, or on Sunday, sorry, not tomorrow. But I definitely cannot do it tomorrow. Especially being up all night tonight. I wouldn't have the stamina. I'm doing this for you guys. Wanted to get the stream in for the night, obviously. It's the only live commentary opportunity I have this weekend with the Truck Series off and the Cup Series running on a night where I'm going to be very busy tomorrow. I will be able to watch the race from afar. And because this race got postponed and I was keeping an eye on it, I was not able to record a predictions video, so I will just put the predictions of the community tab for tomorrow's race at some point, probably during my lunch break or so at work. I'll try to get some stats, do some extra research here at the last second, but all the rain has definitely made the weekend of streaming very interesting, or weekend slate of scheduling very interesting. Jeff Brinks, thanks for tuning in. Thanks for staying up, keeping us filled in. No problemo. I will still give you guys the best commentary possible. Like, I might be a little tired, but honestly, I feel like I've been more tired on streams before than this, so I think I'm alright. It'll probably come back to bite me tomorrow, but for tonight, I'm fine. I didn't realize how old Cesar Baccarella was. I thought he was really young. I don't know how old he is, but looking at his driver profile picture, like, he actually looks like he's in his 40s, if I had to guess. I honestly thought he was somebody super young. They're going to go to the in-car radio right now of Ty Gibbs, and here he is.
So with the index wheel, it's just not quite straight, so you can change the splines, hit it where you want. We'll try it now. Hey, Riley, it's Dale Jr. in the NBC booth.
Riley Herbst, excuse me, not Ty Gibbs.
See you indexing the wheel there, buddy. Hey, it's been a bit of a delay. How does that delay affect the driver? How do you get up on the wheel, get ready to go?
Yeah, well, first off, just hats off to NASCAR and everybody here at Daytona for sticking it out with us, trying to get it racing here under the lights. I don't know, we ate a lot of snacks, drank a lot of Monster Energy, and now we're ready to go put on a show for these fans and hopefully put this Ford Mustang victory lane.
What's a general approach to super speedway racing for you? What's your tactic tonight?
Well, hopefully we're not starting too bad here in 6, so hopefully we can keep this track position, try to get up with some of our friends, as you can say, and kind of control this race, and we'll see where the night takes us.
All right, Riley, thanks for talking to us tonight. Good luck.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
He did all that while he threaded the needle up there, getting his original starting position. Pretty smart.
and pulled right in front of the other Monster Energy car. So,
all right. So again, let me know down in the chat if you guys can hear that well enough. But we are just about ready to get the 1 to go signal, I think. Nope, not yet. Lights are not out on the pace car yet. We will not be going green this time by. Cesar Baccarella's 46. Yeah, I would have had no clue. I've never seen like a picture of him before until just tonight. I honestly thought he was like in his early 20s. I thought he was just, I mean, he's only been in the Xfinity series for a few years. But I've recognized the name because he has been around for a few years. It's good? Alright. Got over 60 people watching already. The race has not begun. Thanks for sticking it out late tonight. Wonder how many people probably went to bed thinking that the race was just going to get moved to tomorrow, and then they're going to wake up in the morning like, oh man, I missed the race. Good news is for most of you guys that don't work weekend shifts, that hopefully you guys enjoy your early start to the weekend and you get to see some racing after all tonight. Sure like to see David Starr get a top 15. That's interesting. And we'll see. Stage length tonight for the 100-lap, 250-mile event will be 30 laps in Stage 1, 30 laps in Stage 2, and 40 laps in the final stage. Pit road speed of 55 miles per hour and the fuel window at 45 to 50 laps. So these guys will not have to pit during each of the 3 stages tonight. Pretty straightforward. They're going to pit during the 2 stage breaks. That's going to be the only time that the entire field will have to pit, even if they go into overtime. I think they'll be all right for 1 or 2 overtime finishes on fuel as well, especially getting to save fuel under the caution. So, pretty simple tonight. It is just straight racing, really no strategy at all. Because sometimes you see pit strategy become an issue potentially with super speedway races, especially the final stage, especially in the stage racing era where you tend to see drivers have to make some green flag pit stops, and that will not be the case tonight. There will not be any scheduled green flag pit stops. If we see a green flag pit stop, it's going to be unscheduled, and there's probably going to be breaking news with something going wrong with the car. Outsider, thanks for tuning into the stream. Yeah, and you haven't missed a thing either. Still on the warm-up laps, so. They still have not gotten the 1 to go signal yet, which I'm quite surprised. I would have thought we would have been going green this time by now. Jet drivers might be drying off pit road yet. Now that I think about it. Well, no, pit road would have been dry because the cars were in the garage, so I don't know exactly why. I mean, they're probably still drying the track off somewhere, maybe the apron. Could be drying the apron of the track off yet. Yeah, welcome back for anybody just tuning in, waiting out the rain delay. Or maybe if you're tuning in for the first time, welcome. And this is the only scheduled live commentary live stream of the weekend. Unless the Cup Series gets postponed to Sunday, this is going to be it. The only 2 Cup Series regulars in the field tonight would be Ricky Stenhouse Jr. And then rookie in the Cup Series, or at least his first full-time season running for points in the Cup Series, would be Justin Haley for Colleague Racing. Stenhouse in the 48 car today. We've seen Tyler Reddick drive that car a few times in the Xfinity Series this season, and Stenhouse is a very good restrictor plate racer, so I'm sure that he could potentially have a good run tonight if he stays out of trouble. We were friends long before 3 weeks ago. We're all friends right here on the channel. NASCAR family. My internet NASCAR family. That's what I call you guys going forward. My internet NASCAR family. Again, you'll get to see the top 30 on the leaderboard at once on our screen. The raw feed is up and running for the drop of the green flag today. And again, AJ Allmendinger will be on the pole after qualifying and practice was rained out earlier. Allmendinger comes in as the regular season points leader in a pretty good-sized lead right now, almost a full race worth of points ahead of Ty Gibbs, who is second in the regular season standings. Allmendinger stays out of trouble today. He's going to have a really good shot at being able to lock that regular season title up within the final 3 races of the regular season following today's race. Now the lights are out on the pace car. They're just coming off the exit of turn 2, so we're about a half a lap away from finally going to green flag following a just over 3-hour rain delay. This race was supposed to start right about 7:45 Eastern Standard Time today, and it is just beyond that right now. Aston Beechwood Fire Company 72, thanks for tuning in. JC1424, thanks for tuning in. Sandwich 250, the Midnight Snack 250. Allmendinger does elect the outside lane on the start. That's going to split apart the JRM cars of Sam Mayer and Noah Gragson. So Gragson's going to be on the inside. Mayer will be outside row 2. Pretty smart tactic by Allmendinger so he doesn't get teamed up here off the start. Josh Berry also in the first 3 rows. He'd be on the inside behind Sammy Smith. So all the junior motorsport cars that qualified, or at least I guess would start inside the top 5, none of them are going to be nose to tail off the start. Pace car is going to pull to pit road. Proud to see that a lot of fans stuck it out tonight in the crowd, and a lot of you at home as well sticking it out on this late Friday night. The Wawa 250 at Daytona is underway. The green flag is in the air, and AJ Allmendinger will get a good push off the start from Sam Mayer in the 1 car. Full car length out ahead of the field right now is Allmendinger into turns 1 and 2 as he controls the outside. Now moves down to the bottom in front of Noah Gragson as the 9 and the 1 run side by side for second place through turns 1 and 2. Outside lane starting to dissipate just a little bit. Allmendinger will move up, though, off the exit of turn 2 in front of Sam Mayer. They're already pulling out of line 3 wide on the back straightaway. Josh Berry leads the inside line on the WL line. Sammy Smith in the middle, 3 wide, making his first superspeedway start in his Xfinity Series career. Will go backwards in the sucker hole. Noah Gragson has found his teammate Josh Berry on the bottom lane, trying to lead the inside line up to the inside of Allmendinger off the exit of turn 4, side by side for the race lead. And now Noah Gragson falls back just a bit, maybe going to try to back up and let the 1 car of Sam Mayer drop down into line and get the 3 JRM cars linked up to try and work together to get by the other Chevrolet of the Colleague Racing Chevrolet of AJ Allmendinger. Allmendinger will lead lap 1 and now shoot back to the bottom lane in turns 1 and 2 in front of the 9 car, just controlling both lanes. Sam Mayer has the 98 car of Riley Herbst in line on the outside behind him, and I believe Sheldon Creed in the 2. Also fighting for the top 5 is the 3rd car in line behind the 2 JRM cars on the bottom. Sam Mayer gets a pretty good shot into turns 3 and 4 from the 2 Monster Energy cars behind him of both Herbst and Gibbs, but not good enough to get alongside AJ Allmendinger, who cuts to the bottom. It's seemingly in the middle of the corner, and then on the straightaways he tends to move to the outside. Tri-oval, he does not move to the outside yet, still stays on the bottom lane as Allmendinger will lead lap 2. Again, 30 laps in stage 1, 30 laps in stage 2, and 40 laps in the final stage of the race. Sam Mayer falling back on the outside. Riley Herbst took a move to the middle. Inside lane comes up just a little bit off the bottom. That's going to allow the outside lane to get a little bit of a side draft and actually hang on for a bit. One car gets a bit sideways in the middle of the pack. It looked like Brandon Jones. He hops out of line in the middle, and now he's making moves with the car helping him from behind, and that's going to hang out Landon Castle in the 10 car. Austin Hill in the 21, who's won 2 super speedway races in the Xfinity Series at the new Atlanta just a couple months ago, and then also, or I should say last month, and then also won the season opener at Daytona earlier this year. Big block by Allmendinger in the tri-oval, barely clear on the one of Sam Mayer, who might have lifted and let the 16 in line, knowing we are just on lap 4, but pretty racy in the middle to the back of the pack, still 3 wide. Austin Hill still stuck in the middle. Now he doesn't have anybody to work with. His cars are starting to find their way into the top and bottom lane, and Hill's getting hung out to dry in the middle. Mayer with a run on the back straightaway will pull alongside the 16 car of A.J. Allmendinger side by side as they enter turns 3 and 4. Mayer trying to get to the lead for the first time today. More cars on the outside than the inside through most of the field, but in the lead pack it seems to be pretty even between top and bottom. Allmendinger clear again off turn 4 as Mayer just didn't get enough help. The outside tends to space apart a little too much in the middle of the corner, so Mayer's not able to get the run off the exit despite the banking being a lot greater on the outside than the bottom lane. The lanes are not side drafting each other too aggressively right now, trying to give each other quite a bit of room it seems. As Allmendinger has now led the first 4 laps of the race. Still 1 car 3 wide middle towards the back, trying to get his way to the outside. I think it's Ricky Stenhouse Jr., but I can't tell for sure. Allmendinger goes to the top, then to the bottom. Gregson pulls off the bottom, goes to the middle. Now he moves up almost into the side of Sam Mayer. Mayer lifts. He's going to let the 9 car in line on the outside lane. That's going to stall both lanes out just a bit. Allmendinger gets out to about a full car length lead, maybe a little bit too far ahead. He moves up in front of Noah Gragson, who cuts down in front of the 8 car. Crossover move by Gragson. He'll lead his first lap of the race. 3 wide for the lead into the tri-oval. And A.J. Allmendinger now stuck in the middle with nowhere to go, and he will not only lose the lead, but he is going to fall all the way to the back of the pack. Will anybody come to pick him up? It looked like the 10 car is maybe going to let him in line. That is his teammate, Landon Castle. It's going to be the 5th car in line on the outside will be Allmendinger, as he is going to lose about 4 to 5 positions on the top. And now Brandon Jones is slowing down just a little bit, so Castle will move into the middle, and now it's 3 by 3 from about 8th on back. Side by side through the top 7. But not enough cars are on the outside lane bunched together, just 3 of them, and they are going backwards. That would be both the Monster Energy cars of Gibbs, Herbst, and then Mayer. Josh Berry moves up in front of his teammate as well as Noah Gregson, the leader, so 3 JRM cars are on the outside, and the lone RCR Chevrolet on the bottom of Sheldon Creed trying to lead the way there with Jeremy Clements and Ryan Sieg behind him. Creed holding his own on the inside despite the 51 and the 39 cars not being directly in line behind him. Allmendinger still leading the middle lane right now as he stays right around 9th or 10th. Very surprised at how aggressive everybody is racing so early in this race. Only lap 7 coming to lap 8 off turn 4 this time. But there are at least 5 cars in the middle lane. Now a couple more thought about moving up into the middle and said they stay on the bottom. I think Creed might have just went up the track to try and side draft the outside lane just a bit. Now the 23 car of Anthony Alfredo is the 3rd car in line on the inside. And Ryan Sieg moved up in the middle right in front of A.J. Allmendinger, who is starting to get a little bit better of a run. Sheldon Creed's going to move up into the middle now, and that's going to lead the 23 of Alfredo as the 1st car on the inside lane. 1 car gets a little loose with some bump drafting going on in the back straightaway, and I think that was A.J. Allmendinger getting a push from his teammate Castle. Justin Haley's already in the middle, also behind the 10 car. Haley started dead last in 38th with no practice or qualifying in his first Xfinity Series start of the season, and somehow, some way, Justin Haley's already cracked the top 10, or very near it at least, because Allmendinger is in 10th place that time by at the start-finish line, and just 2 cars in that same lane behind him is Haley. Back down to mostly 2 lanes as the middle lane is kind of taken over as the second best lane. Just 2 cars are down on the double yellow line right now. And now with just 1 car left on the double yellow line, I'm wondering if Creed's going to go right back down to the inside potentially, and that will be the case. He'll take the shortest way around in the middle of the corner and try to maybe side draft on the straightaways to keep that outside lane stagnated. Hi, Stephen King 92 Hammer, thanks for tuning in the stream. Travis Tyner, thanks for tuning in as well. Thanks for everybody tuning in. 80 people watching already on this late Friday night on the channel. Probably the latest start time to a stream ever in channel history, but we are staying up and we are going to watch all 100 laps of tonight's action. First commercial break of the race on lap 10 of 30 in stage 1 and 10 of 100 overall on the USA Network. We'll go through the full field running order while that is going on. Noah Gragson is currently your race leader. He has led the last 6 laps, so most of the race in the early going. Josh Berry, his teammate, in second. Sam Mayer in third. Riley Herbst in fourth. And Ty Gibbs, my pick to win tonight's race, rounds out the top 5. Sheldon Creed in 6th. Brandon Jones in 7th. Myatt Snyder in 8th. AJ Allmendinger in 9th. And Ryan Sieg is going to round out the top 10. Brandon Brown is up to 11th. Landon Castle in 12th. John Hunter Nemechek 13th. Justin Haley from last to 14th in 10 laps. Daniel Hemrick right behind him, his teammate in 15th. Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in 16th. Sammy Smith, after starting in 3rd, all the way back to 17th. Blade Perkins in 18th. Austin Hill 19th. And Justin Allgaier rounds out the top 20. Jeff Burton in 21st. Anthony Alfredo in 22nd. Jeremy Clements 23rd. 24th. Sage Karam. Joe Graff Jr. 25th. 26th. Alex LePay. Mason Massey 27th. Bailey Curry 28th. Kyle Segan 29th. 30th is David Starr. Ryan Vargas in 31st. Cesar Baccarella in 32nd. Jesse Wuji 33rd. Joey Gase 34th. 35th is Josh Williams. Matt Mills in 36th. 37th is Timmy Hill. And J.J. Yaley rounds out the field. He is the only car out of the lead draft. Top 37 within 5.4 seconds of each other. The top 14 are within 1 second flat of each other as of right now. All in one giant pack are 37 of the 38 cars. Have to watch the race on your phone. Can't listen to Kiki's commentary. It sucks. Oh man, hopefully your internet comes back soon. Just gonna stop by every full screen commercial break. Well, I appreciate you still tuning in. It means a lot. About 80 people watching right now. Again, be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Again, probably not going to stay for a major post-race show. You'll get to hear from the race winner, and that will likely be it. I don't think we're going to get that many interviews anyway, considering that they're going well past the airtime on the USA Network, although I don't think there's anything too important that's going to be on at like 12:30 in the morning on the USA Network that they probably have to cut to their time. So, you never know, but probably only going to hear from the winner and the finishing results, because I do have to work very early tomorrow morning. I got to get up no later than 4 o'clock a.m. Daniel Powers, thanks for tuning into the stream as well. USA Network back from the commercial break right now. Single file throughout the top. It looks like 8 or 9. AJ Allmendinger leads the inside, who is just barely inside the top 10 right now, and he is trying to lead that bottom lane up towards the front of the field. But the Junior Motorsports Chevrolets controlling the pack, at least 3 of the 4 of them out at the front, and then the one who started a little bit further back of Justin Allgaier's mid-pack in 17th right now.
Foundation. Now, a lot of folks remember that 1 year ago today, 26 August 2022,
Our nation experienced the loss of 13 service members in Kabul, Afghanistan. And Jesse, who is an officer in the Navy, wanted to remember through the Honor and Remember Foundation today with that. It's to raise awareness on behalf of fallen military heroes and the families left in the wake of tragic losses. And certainly 1 year ago today, our country and all those families did experience that. We appreciate Jesse flying that logo, and we do honor and remember.
Also,
Average speed right now of race leader Noah Gregson that last lap. Oh, we got a spinner off of turn 4, hard into the inside wall, head on. Sammy Smith in the 18 car has crushed the inside wall with the left front of his race car. His day's going to come to an end. The whole left side of the car is pancaked as he had gone for a spin off the exit of turn 4. He is moving inside the race car, and he will likely end up dropping the window net. Caution's out for the first time today, about halfway through stage 1. First career Xfinity Series start on a super speedway for Sammy Smith today after a third place finish at Watkins Glen last weekend on a road course. That is a tough break for Smith and a tough hit as well. AMR safety team is on the scene. They're taking the window net down for Sammy Smith right now. Hopefully he's okay. That was a hard lick for the pilot number 18 car. Smith is climbing out of his race car under his own power. And he'll be taking a trip to the infield care center. They're showing the replay as of right now. He was on the inside lane. It looked like he might have gotten hit from behind. It's about the 5th or 6th car on the inside, running right around 15th to 20th. Austin Hill in the 21 car was behind him. No chance to get that car to slow up at these speeds. On the brakes, but head on into the inside wall. Blew the right rear tire as well, trying to slow down, locking the rear tires and the front tires up. Which probably didn't help him decelerate. It's tough to tell if he got hit from behind. He either got hit or he just got arrow loose from the 21 behind him, but he definitely had a very, very difficult time. Remember, no practice or qualifying for Sammy Smith as well. Talk about a young driver without any racing experience at Daytona ever, hopping in the car today with no practice or qualifying. It was going to be a tough day just for him to make it to the end. Unfortunately, he doesn't even make it to the end of stage 1. Ryan Howell, welcome to the stream. That was your pick, oh man. It's a quick 15 laps. And laps, even though they're typically longer at Daytona, the speeds are so high that it tends to fly by, especially when it's been action-packed as the first 15 laps have been so far. Gregson has led 12 of the 16 completed laps. Allmendinger led the first 4. We'll see if we get some cars onto pit road this time. It'll be interesting if cars will pit. And it looks like Noah Gregson is going to lead the field into pit road. Just a couple cars pit. Sam Mayer follows. Few stay out in the top 10. Most everybody outside the top 10 is coming down.
The field up there, and half of your team bails out, Dave.
That included Sam Mayer in that blue and black number 1. There he is. He will take on fuel here as it does get them to another window, plus an adjustment. You see it happening there. He told the crew, I'm really free. Marty.
Leader Noah Gregson on pit road. Going to be 4 fresh Goodyear tires. You see the adjustment saying the car just a little bit too free to him. He said he was asked by Luke Lambert, his crew chief, how do you feel about your ability to move around and make moves? He said, good. Really good. So yes, they're pitting here thinking we're going to stay out all the way until the end of stage 2, which signals to me they believe this is going to be a track position race here at Daytona today. Get it now while you can.
So again, you just heard from Marty Snyder, one of the pit reporters for NBC, that a lot of the teams and pretty much every team that just hit pit road right now is planning on staying out during the stage 1 break by pitting now they should have enough fuel to make it all the way to the end of stage 2 before they make their second and final stop of the race. So they're giving up the likelihood of potentially getting any sort of stage points in stage 1. And for Gregson's sake, who's the leader, to potentially get a playoff point to try to get that track position for the start of stage number 2. Interesting strategy call. The top 2 pit, and I believe Josh Berry will be the leader on the restart. I'm surprised Berry didn't go with his teammates. Considering the top 2 in front of him were his teammates, Berry stayed out. Noah Gragson has won 10 stages so far this season in the first 22 races in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. That is the most. That could have been his 11th if he could have got to the front. There were quite a few cars at pit, though, so even though Gragson had just pit, he is still... We'll have to wait for the leaderboard to update because I don't think he's in 4th. Josh Berry's definitely going to be the leader on the restart, though. But I would probably have to imagine Gregson's going to be outside the top 15. Rain tires at Daytona, that's dangerous. They wouldn't hold up. In the pack, I don't even think they would be able to super speedway race. Like, the engines would be restricted, but I just feel like you wouldn't be able to see. Like, a mist is already hard enough on a road course. Imagine, like, 40 cars, like, under a blanket. That just would not happen. That would not go well. Oscar Ramirez Herrera, thanks for tuning in. It'll buff out. I don't think, maybe in the shop, might save the chassis, but they're not going to save anything else. That car is demolished. Talk about the car of Sammy Smith, the first to retire from the race today after a spin off turn 4. Probably just got aero loose. 21 car in line behind him, but I don't know that there was contact. There's no proof that there was contact. If we get an interview from Sammy Smith or anybody else throughout the course of tonight's race who DNFs, you guys will get to listen in. Aiden Rowland, thanks for tuning in. Oh, you're at Daytona. Awesome, man. It's definitely an experience. And a bucket list item, I'm pretty sure, for any NASCAR fan out there who has not been to Daytona, I highly recommend getting a chance. And if you go to the Daytona 500, if you could stay for Thursday through Sunday, all the racing action, it only adds to the hype of the 500. The more and more you go back day after day after day, and then you go back that final day for the big one. And truly an experience I'll never forget. Gonna have 11 laps to go in stage 1 when we go green. Riley Herbst and Josh Berry will be on the front row. Berry will restart the lead. He'll elect the outside lane right in front of Brandon Jones. And it'll be Ty Gibbs on the inside line behind Riley Herbst. Green flag is back in the air at Daytona. So again, 11 laps to try and get the stage 1 winner up here. Pretty aggressive racing off the start of the race. And right when it's starting to die down just a little bit for a couple laps, Sammy Smith went for a spin just to bunch the field back up. Again, they're already 3 wide outside the top 10. Noah Gregson's up the middle trying to pick up a bunch of track position after pitting. Gregson took 4 fresh tires. He was one of the only cars that actually took tires during that last pit stop. Josh Berry getting put back in the sucker hole. He is 3 wide middle and going backwards, and it'll be Ty Gibbs in the 54 car taking his first lead of the race through turns 3 and 4. He's about 2 full car lengths, so out in front of the cars in front of him of Sheldon Creed and Riley Herbst, who run side by side. And now Herbst is all clear for second, and Creed's starting to go backwards on the inside line. Brandon Jones to third. Creed does not move up. Outside lane starts to close. Landon Castle now 4th in line on the outside of the 10 car. 10 laps to go in stage 1 as Gibbs again just led his first lap of the race that last time by. Again, mostly 3 wide towards the back of the pack off the exit of turn 2 still. A lot of lane changing going on in the back straightaway. See some sparks flying somewhere around the track. Somebody's got a problem, it looks like, towards the back of the pack. Somebody may have a tire going down at the very tail end of the field. Caution is out. Caution is out for whoever that was sparking. It looked to be Ryan Sieg in the 30. Kyle Sieg in the 38. It was the other Sieg. So Kyle Sieg looks to have a left front tire down. The carcass is on the racetrack, so debris will bring out caution number 2. Not sure if there was contact that led to that. And I'm not sure if Kyle Sieg changed tires during that pit stop, if he even pitted. But the left front tire is blowing on Kyle Sieg's race car, bringing out caution number 2. Jax, thanks for tuning in. Next Gen Crash Dummy, thanks for tuning in. Race has been so far so good. We're only 22 laps in, though, so we have not been racing very long. Couple cautions now. We've only really seen about 14, 15 laps of green flag racing, but what we've had so far so good. Yep, Kyle Sieg has blown a tire, bringing out caution number 1. Nobody else was in the wreck. He did a good job noticing that the tire was down, getting the car slowed up, and didn't have to worry about any accident happening. He was able to drop out of the lead pack in time. Here's Parker Kligerman with Sammy Smith.
Saw the spin off of turn 4. What happened from your point of view?
Yeah, I was fighting really free from the start of the race, and just honestly probably just made a rookie move. I just feel like I was having issues keeping up with the 21 there, and just couldn't, or I guess the 11, but yeah, just too free and made a mistake.
There you go, guys. Just made a little mistake. Rookie mistake. That's why it's rookie. Yeah, a rookie mistake, Parker. And
So again, you heard it from Sammy Smith. There was no contact from the 21 car. He just got a little loose off the exit of the corner. On the inside line. Daniel Brooks, thanks for tuning into the stream. Put Ty in a mid-pack car, see what he does. Josh Berry, by the way, is on pit road right now.
For Josh, who we saw get stuck in the middle. The good news was that his teammates picked him up back there in the middle, but he really doesn't have a car right now that he could drive well here. So adjustments here. We'll see if Josh in the 8th can make his way back to the front.
So there were a few more cars that just hit pit road during the caution. I saw Justin Haley also in the pits. There was probably about 6 or 7 cars that came in. Barry took tires. So he fell back, though, off that restart well outside the top 10 after restarting in the lead. Just kind of got hung out to dry in the middle, and everybody split around him. So might as well pit. Everybody who has not pitted yet will have to pit during Stage 1, the Stage 1 break. And we're probably only going to have about 6 or 7 laps to go in the stage by the time we go green. He could have ran over debris. I don't know what could have been out there, though, because Sammy Smith, when he wrecked, I mean, obviously he hit the inside retaining wall, but he never came back across the track. He was actually stopped in the infield grass, so I don't know where he could have ran debris over. Maybe the entrance to pit road, where Smith slid before he got it into the grass and got stuck. Interesting. Corey Freet, thanks for tuning into the stream. Tell you what, unfortunately these cautions are prolonging this race every little bit. For my sake, and for anybody else out there that has to work tomorrow and is staying up. Oh boy. I have an obligation to, though. That's my reasoning. I want to see what the best lap of the race is. What kind of speeds are we seeing today out of these Xfinity cars in the pack? Justin Haley has a time of average speed of 188.9 miles per hour. See a 188.8 from Joe Graff Jr. 188.4 for Jeb Burton. Mostly everybody's in the 190.0 from Daniel Hemrick. That might be the fastest lap of the race so far. What was that lap time? 47.3. That's insane. I mean, it's just the Xfinity Series. Obviously, the Cup Series can go a bit quicker, but... That's still hollow, though. That's average, too. That's not top speed. That's average speed for the lap.
The tree puts the guy in front of me. The more I lift, the freer I get.
And he is...
That was Justin Allgaier's in-car radio. Said the more he lifts, the freer he gets. So essentially when he's lifting out of the throttle in the middle of the corner, car's starting to get a little bit loose on him in the wake of all that airflow, both in front of him, behind him, especially behind him, I'm sure, with just taking the air off the rear of the race car. Remember, this is the full super speedway package for the Xfinity Series. What they raced at Atlanta in both races this year was kind of a modified super speedway package where they still had the low downforce that they usually have with the restrictor plates on them. But a little bit higher downforce package for Daytona and Talladega still in the Xfinity Series on top of the restrictor plate package, but on top of the restrictor plates on the cars, I should say, but for whatever reason, still seeing handling become a major issue today on this green racetrack. Green flag's back in the air. Ty Gibbs elected the outside lane as the leaders have this entire time. Actually, Gibbs on the inside, Herbst on the outside. It's hard to tell who's who with the both cars being matte black Monster Energy race cars. But they are side drafting each other in the middle of turns 1 and 2 following this restart. Just 6 laps to go in stage 1 as everybody's going to be battling for that playoff point and stage points for those who are on the cutoff line for the playoffs. A.J. Allmendinger will pull down to the inside lane with his teammate right behind him of Daniel Hemrick, 3 wide, putting Sheldon Creed in the middle lane into turns 3 and 4. Ty Gibbs has his teammate of Brandon Jones down to the bottom. Landon Castle pushing the 98 car in the middle of the corner, and the 98's really moving around, dancing the race car off the exit of turn 4 as he keeps it off the wall, keeps his foot in it, and Herbst is going to lead his first green flag lap of the race at the line. 5 laps to go in stage 1. Herbst is clear of the 54 car of Ty Gibbs down to the bottom. Gibbs goes up to try and side draft the 10 car going into turns 1 and 2, and now looking for a push from his teammate Brandon Jones. A.J. Allmendinger in line, third in line on the inside behind Jones, followed by Hemrick and Allgaier. Sam Mayer also behind Allgaier on the inside. 3 wide in the middle. A lot of cars moving up from the bottom to the middle lane. Allmendinger back to the bottom, followed by Jones, followed by Gibbs. Middle lane is led by Sheldon Creed still. He is in between the 11 and the 48, it looks like. Right around 6th or 7th place is where he is battling as Creed almost gets sandwiched between Noah Gragson and Daniel Hemrick. Aggressive side drafting. 4 wide, nearly in the middle of the triover. The 9 car gets a little loose in the middle of the corner as he may have gotten tagged just a bit. Great job by Gregson keeping his car in control. That stacked up the outside lane. Gregson may have nudged the wall, it looked like, going into turns 1 and 2 as well, but everybody is going to stay off of each other at least enough to keep their cars in control. 3-car breakaway now at the front of the field. 3x3 from 4th on back. Massive run coming to the 16 of Allmendinger. He's trying to check the lanes. He goes to the bottom in front of his teammate Hemrick, and now it is still 3 wide from 4th on back. But the top 3 cars are single file on the double yellow line as will be coming to 3 laps to go in stage 1 this time. Very aggressive is the pack right now. And this is a very sketchy situation for these drivers that don't have a lot of experience in these cars in general when you consider a lot of them are very young in this lead pack. It looks like the top 21 cars are in the lead pack. Everybody from 22nd on back is just kind of hanging out. They want nothing to do with this. I can't blame them. Ty Gibbs is your race leader. Brandon Jones in 2nd. Allmendinger in 3rd. It's not so much 3 wide anymore. It's down to side by side. And the outside's being led by Sheldon Creed, who has a massive run on the back straightaway. He'll pull alongside the 2nd place car now of Brandon Jones after a push from Justin Haley. It's amazing. Haley has gone from last all the way up inside the top 5 despite all the caution laps we've seen so far. Probably less than 20 green flag laps have been ran, and Justin Haley has gone from last to 5th. 2 laps to go in stage 1. Just took him 28 laps to do that. showing why he is such a good restrictor plate racer, especially in the Xfinity Series when he's in a colleague racing Chevrolet. Not enough cars seemingly on the outside, just 4 of them right now inside the top 10 versus 6 on the bottom. Now more cars move to the outside of the back straightaway, and they're split 3 wide as one car gets shuffled out of line in the middle. That would be the 11 of Daniel Hemrick. Creed's getting a good run on the back straightaway, but stalls out alongside the 19 of Brandon Jones again. Ty Gibbs holds on. How aggressive will Gibbs be to try and get this stage win as they work their way off turn 4, final lap of stage 1 this time by? 3 wide in the middle again, right around 5th place. Austin Hill, Daytona winner, has his teammate Sheldon Creed pull up in front of him. The 2 RCR cars are on the outside. The 16 moves to the middle now of AJ Allmendinger. That's going to split the 19 car apart, and Allmendinger's going to pull clear of the 19 and move back down to the bottom. Gibbs with a block on the 16 of Allmendinger. Sheldon Creed on the outside still. 21 cars coming with a massive push now off the exit of turn 2. Gibbs saw that. He moves up in front of Creed. Will Creed try to take a move to the bottom on the back straightaway? He's still getting pushed by the 21 of Austin Hill. The 2 is dancing. Into turns 3 and 4 this time by. Gibbs leads by about a half a car length ahead of the 2 of Sheldon Creed. Creed is just outside the cutoff line coming into this race today. He went down to the WL line. Gibbs mirror driving. Clear on the inside. Now back to the outside goes Creed. Gibbs up to block. Ty Gibbs is going to win stage 1. Side by side for second at the line. Austin Hill will take second place. And 3 wide from about 5th on back as they'll make it to the end without the big one in stage 1. Ty Gibbs will win stage number 1 today. And that will be Ty Gibbs' 4th stage win of 2022. So Ty Gibbs is going to win stage 1 today at Daytona. Austin Hill is going to end up 2nd. Sheldon Creed 3rd. AJ Allmendinger 4th. Josh Berry rounds out the top 5. Brandon Jones in 6th. Justin Allgaier 7th. Sam Mayer 8th. Justin Haley 9th. And Ryan Sieg is going to round out the top 10. And those will all be the drivers receiving stage points in stage 1 of the Wawa 250 at the Daytona International Speedway under the lights tonight. Be sure to like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you have not already. Live race commentary on the daily, whether it is the realistic commentary races on the real races on the race weekend or during the week on the video game side of things. Much more NASCAR content as well, like at-track videos, like race highlight videos from the grandstands for the races I go to in person. Next race I'll be at will be the Kansas Cup race, the second race of the round of 16 of the playoffs. And we'll go back to Cup Series live commentary action on the channel next weekend when the playoffs begin for the Southern 500 on Sunday evening at Darlington. I will be doing live commentary for the regular season finale for the Cup Series at Daytona only if it gets rained out tomorrow and it's ran on Sunday afternoon or Sunday night. Late afternoon or night on Sunday, if the race is ran, I will be able to give you guys live commentary for that race. It will be on the big NBC network. If you're wondering where tonight's race is, it is on the USA network for this Xfinity Series race. Larson has the pole tomorrow. Yeah, I didn't see the starting lineup after qualifying got rained out today. They don't go by owners' points anymore. Ever since COVID, they've gone by like the metric system that they have. Not like the measurement system, metric system, but like their own metrics. Based off of like, it's a combination. I can't remember the percentages for everything, but it's a combination of where you finished in the last race, where you're at in points, and I think owners' points too. I think it's owners' points, drivers' points, and where you finished last week, if I'm not mistaken. I think those are the 3 metrics they go by. Juanita Luna, thanks for tuning into the stream. Ty Gibbs is going to lead the rest of the cars who have not pitted yet today on to pit road as they'll top off on fuel, maybe change some tires. Here's the pit reporters to give you more.
Have come back to pit road now, Dave.
Eyes on the blue 21 of Austin Hill. He took lefts last time. He'll take rights this time. His teammate, Sheldon Creed, in the red and white number 2. He'll take lefts here.
Oh, trouble on pit road. The 45 car has just gotten turned around as Austin Hill was coming out of his pit box, and he is now pitted backwards on pit road.
It's going to take a little bit of time here. We're going to work on a few things. See the 45 car backwards in his pit stall. Also at the front end of the pit road, Ty Gibbs. That was fuel only. We'll double check that on the 54 after the stage win.
It's Cesar Baccarello in the 45 car that got turned around in his own pit box, but it was when the 21 car of Austin Hill was coming out of his box. Those two drivers are pitted a couple pit boxes apart from each other. The 2 car of Sheldon Creed was the pit box between the 21 and the 45, so Hill had to maneuver out kind of wide to get around the 2 car of Creed, and in doing so, the 45 simultaneously was trying to get into his box. That clipped the 45 of Baccarello on the left rear corner panel. Decent sized damage on the left rear corner panel of Baccarello's race car. Austin Hill's car seemed to be fine off the initial contact showing on that first replay. If more develops on that 21 car, I will let you guys know, but they are under a commercial break following that pit road incident. So, waiting for our timing and scoring to update under the caution period. Again, Gibbs just pitted, so I'm not sure who exactly the leader is going to be here. It may be Josh Berry, because he pitted during that second caution in stage 1, so he definitely stayed out. The other Junior Motorsports Chevrolets probably stayed out too, except for Allgaier. I think he pitted there, but he's a little different strategy than the other 3 though, because he was not up at the front of the field at the start of the race like they were. Started a little further back. I'm sure it did damage the 21, but I don't think it's going to affect him as much, because the 45 car, the way it's on the left rear corner panel, it's probably caved it in quite a bit. Handling's already difficult. That's going to take a lot of the downforce out of the 45 car. It seems like these cars are already moving around, lacking for grip with no rubber on the racetrack, with no on-track activity at all yet this weekend, and all the rain that came in before as well. Yep, I did see that news earlier today. Craftsman coming back to sponsor the Truck Series. It was also announced earlier today. There's something else I remember seeing. Go back and look at it. Let me pull it up real quick. I can't remember. What was it? Oh yeah, Eric Almirola signed a multi-year deal. I should say he signed a 1-year deal in 2023. So Almirola signed a 1-year deal in 2023, but Smithfield signed a multi-year extension with SHR, which is very interesting. So Almirola will not be retiring at the end of the season. They do have quite a bit of tape on the 21 car right around the right front fender where Austin Hill made contact with the 45. And I guess it was a bigger hit than what I initially thought. But as long as Hill could stay in the draft, we know his car's very strong. And I am pretty sure that he'll be alright in the pack. About to go back to green flag racing. Josh Berry elects the inside lane on the restart. Jeb Burton in the 27 will be outside of the front row. Green flag going to be back in the air, lap 35 of 100 at Daytona. And we'll have 26 laps to go in stage 2. One car moving to the outside initially is the 07 back in row 4. Ty Gibbs immediately goes down to the bottom, and it's amazing how quickly these cars have been fanning 3 wide on the restarts today, because every restart before they even get into turn 1, middle of the pack, they're already 3 by 3. This restart was no different. Jeb Burton hanging on strong on the outside. Doesn't have a lot of cars directly in line behind him, as there's still a lot of moving going on just in the back half of the top 10 as they fan out the 3 wide ahead. Again, The 66 of Timmy Hill, who's in the top 10 right now, is on the inside lane. That's stacking cars up. They're splitting around Hill. They're not going with him and kind of going into the middle lane around him as Hill stays on the double yellow line. Josh Berry not fully clear off the exit of turn 4. Now he is. And Josh Berry is going to lead this first lap under green flag conditions in stage 2. 19 car now moving out of line 3 wide to the top. Doesn't really have a lot of help going with him, and he may be going backwards. He does have 2 cars in line behind him, but that is it. And he's already outside the top 15. Josh Berry going to move to the outside. That's going to open up the bottom lane now. Brandon Brown in the 68 car, who won at Talladega last fall. Trying to get a second career win on a super speedway today. Having a good push from Anthony Alfredo and Justin Allgaier. 13 car goes up a bit wide in the middle of the corner. And actually, Timmy Hill's in the 13. I think J.J. Yaley's in the 66. Had the numbers wrong. I'm used to Timmy Hill being in the 66 car. But both of them starting to go backwards now. Brandon Brown will lead his first lap of the race that time by at the start-finish line. He'll move to the outside lane now, right in front of Josh Berry. And now the bottom's open for the 23 car of Anthony Alfredo. It seems like the cars that try to go high to block the outside give up the runs on the bottom. That's how Brandon Brown got to the lead, and that might be how he loses the lead. Anthony Alfredo now trying to lead his first lap of the race. 6 different leaders so far for a total of 10 lead changes in the first 37 laps, despite barely over 20 laps being ran under green. A lot of lead changes in the early going of today's race. Not the right series, no tours, but thanks for tuning in to the stream. Brown still leading the outside, while Anthony Alfredo still leads the inside. Couple of Chevrolets actually lined up on the bottom. Looks like 4 straight Chevys and then a couple Fords on the inside of Sieg and Herbst a little further back. Brown, Berry on the outside lane. Not a lot of aggressive side drafting going on. Brown pulled a little bit off the top that time. Looked like he wanted to side draft but didn't. I'm not sure that the 68 car is a great lead car because the 23 is all clear on the bottom, and the back half of the top 10 into the just inside the top 15 cars are starting to split 3 wide again as Sam Mayer is going to control the outside lane near the wall, getting around. Can't tell who that last car is. The 26 it looks like. Splitting around the 26. I think the 54 of Ty Gibbs is in the middle right in front of the 26 as well. Anthony Alfredo moves into the outside lane as soon as he took the lead. Noah Gragson went up on the outside as well as Sheldon Creed. Brandon Brown falls all the way back to about 4th or 5th alongside of the 39. Noah Gragson looks to have one of the fastest cars in the field in the early going. Took the lead, has led the most laps so far, and now is looking for the lead again on his alternating strategy. One of the first cars to hit pit road this entire race. He's back up towards the front, battling to the inside of Alfredo for the lead. Alfredo back down to the inside lane. I'm not sure if that 23 car is affiliated with RCR, but remember, Anthony Alfredo did run part-time for Richard Childress Racing in the Xfinity Series a couple seasons ago in the 21 car. I say that because the 2 of Sheldon Creed is on the outside right behind him. Now that Gregson pulled down to the inside, so maybe a little bit of an alliance there. They'll try to stick together because it's 2 Junior Motorsport Chevrolets working together on the bottom of Gregson and Allgaier. 2 and 3 wide through most of the pack right now. Jeremy Williams, thanks for tuning in. 13 car, Timmy Hill back to 27th. He restarted inside the top 15, but he got shuffled out of line a couple laps after the restart. And they weren't quite 3 wide at the time yet. They are now. So I'm pretty sure he has found himself in line if he hasn't dropped out of the lead pack, which I actually think he did drop out of the lead pack because it looks like the top 22 are separated by just 1 second. And then 23rd on back, which would be Joe Graff Jr. on back, are 1.7 seconds off the lead. So probably running in the pack not too far behind, but a little bit behind this 3x3 major super speedway pack style racing right now, just in case something bad happens. A debris caution for a left front tire coming apart, the carcass laying on the racetrack, and then a spin from Sammy Smith are the only 2 cautions so far today for incident, plus a stage brake caution big block attempt by the 23 of Alfredo nearly stuffed the 9 car of Gregson into the wall. Then hesitated to pull down to the bottom in the 91 car of Mason Massey. He's having a great day early on. Racing in this lead pack is going to allow the 23 to get down in front of him. Sheldon Creed is 3 wide middle right now. It is 3 by 3 from about 5th or 6th on back through the top 22 who are in the lead pack right now. Justin Haley's now pulled out of line, and he is going to the second pack along with his teammate Daniel Hemrick. So a couple of the Collie cars hopping out of line. Haley's simply racing just for a win tonight. 14 car isn't even racing for owner's points, not running full time either for Collie Racing, so he's got nothing to lose racing up there. He's gotten a feel for the car in the lead pack in the first stage. That's probably enough for what he needs going into the final stage. And he was able to go from last all the way up inside the top 5 in the first 28 laps, so he's definitely got a good car. Noah Gregson's definitely had one of the better cars in the race so far as well. Tough to tell who is the fastest right now because we haven't seen a driver lead for a long period of time, but I'd probably say Noah Gregson is the one to beat. Him and Justin Haley, if I had to guess, are probably the 2 cars that look the fastest off the eye test in the early going, and Gregson's got the laps led counter to prove it for himself as well. Rush Show, thanks for tuning into the stream. First time seeing this. What game is this? This is not a game. This is a live race. NASCAR Xfinity Series at Daytona. Wawa 250 doing live commentary for today's action. As I do on the weekly basis for races I don't go to in person, but I can't do the Cup Series race tomorrow, so that's why we're doing the Xfinity Series race tonight at about a 3-hour rain delay, but we are live, and there's currently 17 laps to go in Stage 2, and we're just shy of the halfway mark in tonight's race as of right now. Justin Allgaier is your current leader. First time that Allgaier in the Hellman's number 7 Chevrolet is out in front. Still a lot of 3-wide racing going on. It looks like from about 8th or 9th on back, Brandon Jones is the first car in the middle. 39 car of Ryan Sieg's going to pull out of line. He doesn't know where to go. He goes to the bottom on the double yellow line in front of Josh Berry. Now back into the middle in front of the 19 of Brandon Jones. Top 7 single file. Now Sieg's going to move up into the outside lane. And I think everybody's going to be gravitating towards the top as USA Network will head to a commercial break. Go through the full field running order now during this commercial break. And actually, it looks like it's a side-by-side break, but we'll still go through the full field running order again. Justin Allgaier is your race leader. Anthony Alfredo in 2nd. Sheldon Creed in 3rd. Josh Berry in 4th. Jeb Burton 5th. Noah Gregson 6th. Ty Gibbs in 7th. Riley Herbst 8th. Ryan Sieg 9th. And Ricky Stenhouse Jr. rounds out the top 10. Brandon Jones in 11th. Austin Hill in 12th. 13th is Myatt Snyder. Mason Massey in 14th. Brandon Brown, after leading moments ago, all the way back to 15th already. Sam Mayer in 16th, Landon Castle in 17th, 18th is A.J. Allmendinger, Blaine Perkins 19th, Justin Haley is 20th. 21st is Daniel Hemrick. Mason Massey now has fallen back to 22nd all of a sudden. Alex Abay in 23rd, J.J. Yaley 24th, Joe Graff Jr. 25th, Jeremy Clements 26th, Timmy Hill 27th, Sage Karaman 28th, 29th is Josh Williams, Joey Gase is 30th. 31st is Kyle Sieg, Ryan Vargas 32nd, Bailey Curry 33rd, Jesse Wuji 34th, David Starr 35th, Matt Mills 36th, Cesar Vaccarella 37th. Only car out of the race today is Sammy Smith as he had wrecked on lap number 14. Bringing out the first caution today, he got loose off turn 4 in the pack, inside line. Nobody else was collected. Hit the inside retaining wall pretty much head on, ending his day early. Again, I'll repeat the top 10. Justin Allgaier in the lead, Anthony Alfredo 2nd, Sheldon Creed 3rd, Josh Berry 4th, Jeff Burton in 5th, Noah Gregson in 6th, Ty Gibbs 7th, Riley Herbst 8th, Ryan Sieg 9th, Austin Hills 10th. Top 10 all separated by 0.8 of a second in the lead pack. A lot more 2x2 racing going on once again. Chris Fulson, thanks for tuning into the stream as well. Jeremy Williams, thanks for tuning in. I think I already shouted you out, Jeremy, but I got you again. Thought it was Ignition Simulator. No, it is not. I would never do something like that. No, this is live, realistic commentary. This is as real as it gets. Some Peacock doesn't have all the races on the USA, NBC. Peacock only gets 2 races among both the top series the rest of the season. Wow, that's insane. That is pretty bad. They really should have every race on Peacock, at least so you have a reliable option to have Peacock. What's the point of having races on the network if you're not going to air all of them on the network. Or I feel like, at the very least, have all the cable races on Peacock. So that way people that don't have cable have an avenue to watch the race still. Because, I mean, at the very least, I would recommend them to have all the races on there, but if you're not going to have all the races on there, at least have all the cable races on there for Xfinity and Cup. Because as long as you have an antenna, you can watch the main NBC races. They've gone back to the full screen racing action right now, and currently it is 2x2 once again, as it was single file through about the top 7 or 8 just 3 or 4 laps ago. Allgaier does continue to lead, but it's side by side from second on back. Alfredo still leading the outside, and Sheldon Creed with his teammate Austin Hill on the bottom behind the 7. Remember, Austin Hill had to come back down on the pit road a second time to patch up the right front fender after contact with the 45 car Baccarello on pit road. So Hill restarted at the very tail end of the field and has already gotten all the way up to 4th. Gregson danced a little bit off the exit of turn 2. Now he's getting a push from the 98 car of Riley Herbst. That nearly turned the 9 car around as he had kind of bobbled around again on the back straightaway, bottlenecking the outside, and they lose their momentum, allowing now 2 cars to clear up at the front of the field of Allgaier and then Creed. And now Austin Hill also clear. Will they potentially move to the outside in front of Alfredo? They do not. Alfredo goes down to side draft the 3rd place car of Austin Hill. We are officially halfway this time by at the start-finish line. We will have 50 laps to go out of 100, and we will have just 10 laps to go in Stage 2 when we get to the start-finish line this time as well. Massive run on the outside, no block by the 7 of Allgaier. He's going to be patient and stay hooked to that double yellow line, while the 23 car of Anthony Alfredo will get the run from Allgaier's teammate Noah Gragson in the 9 car right behind him. Anthony Alfredo is there off the exit of turn 4. Alfredo still getting the push from Gragson, or at least the momentum on the outside, and Alfredo by inches will lead that line at the line over the 7 of Allgaier. That will make another lead change, which would now be our 11th lead change of the race. With 8 different leaders, 8 different drivers have led at least 1 lap. Anthony Alfredo, Justin Allgaier, Noah Gragson, Riley Herbst, Josh Berry, Ty Gibbs, AJ Allmendinger, and Brandon Brown have all led at least 1 lap tonight. Sam Mayer is going to go up the middle. First full-time season for Mayer in the Xfinity Series. He's making a run. The 9 car pulls down in front of him. The 2 teammates may be working together. Now Gragson goes back to the outside in front of the Monster Energy Ford of Riley Herbst, and Mayer's going to get hung out to dry if nobody tries to pick him up. 9 laps to go now in Stage 2. A couple cars are going to pick up the one in the draft. I think Ricky Stenhouse Jr. will be the first of which to do so. Just outside the top 10. Pit for Peacock full price, still no race upset. Yeah, that is. Hopefully, that's not the only reason you're paying for it. I would just delete it if that were the case. The Q to 70, thanks for tuning in. Got to scavenge for YouTube vids. Well, at least you can watch the races here. Tomorrow, maybe not. But if it does get rained out and they race on Sunday for the Cup Series this weekend, I will be doing live commentary then as well. So it looks like the 11 car of Daniel Hemrick has fallen way off the lead pack right now. I didn't hear what exactly was going on, but he is actually in danger of going a lap down. His lead draft is starting to catch up, so Hemrick is in danger of going a lap down. He felt that he may have had a flat tire, and we're going to have about 7 laps to go at the start-finish line when they work their way off turn 4. This time the pack is coming well faster than the 11 of Hemrick. If Hemrick does go a lap down, though, I believe he would be the only car lap down, so he would get the free pass during the stage break, so he might as well pull out of the way. There's no major way he's he's not going to be able to hold on. Unless he makes a massive block, but it's just not worth it. Hemrick's a pretty smart driver. I would expect him to probably just stay out of the way once the pack gets there. But it's going to be tough because they're 2x2 and they're 3 wide in the middle of the pack. So they're going to have to get around another car who's going to be very slow. It's going to be interesting to see how they're going to do it. 3 wide now up towards the front of the field as the 7 of Allgaier gets hung out of line. The 2 RCR Chevrolets of Sheldon Creed and Austin Hill work together to get into the middle. And now Creed is maybe going to try to go up the track to side draft the 9 of Gregson. No, he does not. He moves down in front of the 7. And now that's going to lead the 21 car of Austin Hill to lead the middle. Hill gets a good push from the 1 car of Sam Mayer. 6 laps to go, stage 1. 3 wide from about 4th on back as Alfredo continues to lead on the outside. Sheldon Creed kind of controlling both the inside and middle lanes right now. I'm sure he would like to work with his teammate Austin Hill if Hill can get the push. Remember, Hill's got that parachute on the right front fender of his car after contact on pit road with the 45 during the caution flag pit stops. So the lead car is probably not going to be great for the 21. He's fast in the draft, but when he gets out in the lead, that damage is going to be slowing him down then. Noah Gregson with the crossover move to the inside. Was able to get down in front of the 2, but the 23 goes down to side draft, and that's going to keep Gregson from leading that lap at the line. And the 23 simultaneously gets the push from the 98 car while side drafting Noah Gregson, so they remain side by side for the lead still. Noah Gregson is alongside the 23, 2x2 at the front of the field, and 3x3 from 5th on back. Herbst is not directly in line behind the 23 car anymore. Noah Gregson's clear off the exit of turn 2. Will he move up? Halfway down the back straightaway right now, he will move up to the outside lane. His teammate Sam Mayer still charging in the middle lane, but is now falling back to about 7th or 8th place. Austin Hill and Sheldon Creed were able to get down to the bottom in front of the 7 of Allgaier, so Sam Mayer and Ryan Sieg, 2 cars in the middle. Jeff Burton also in the middle. Gregson going to get a nice little draft off the 11 car of Daniel Hemrick. 4 laps to go at the line. Hemrick has got about 4 car lengths and closing quick of his gap on the leaders. Hemrick is going to go down to the inside for the time being. He's just going to let the leaders potentially get up there. And Hemrick is not going to race overly aggressively here. He's going to stay on the inside. He's going to pull out of the way. He knows he's going to get the free pass position during the stage break. He does not want to be in the middle of this pack. Smart plan there by Hemrick, knowing he's going to get back on the lead lap. Especially, don't want to be in the eye of the storm when you're a lap down, knowing you're going to get at least one more caution with the stage break in a couple laps. Dark Crypto, thanks for tuning into the stream as well. Watch WWE and Peacock, gotcha. Yeah, it is almost midnight where I live. About 8 minutes away. Gregson controlling both the inside and the outside lanes right now. The 23 and the 2 are the 2 cars in line behind him. Gregson moves high. Now down to the bottom. Back straightaway. 2.5 laps to go at stage 2. Gregson getting a push from the 2 car, who is also getting a push for the 7 of Allgaier. Gregson hangs on to it, 3 wide from about 10th on back again. Alfredo side drafts the 7 car now as Creed in the 2 is all clear for 2nd, and he's all alone behind the 9 of Noah Gregson. Creed does a move up in front of the 23 car who had a run. The 7's going to give the 2 a push in the middle of the tri-oval. 2 laps to go. Gregson must be riding the brakes because he's got about a full car length on the pack in front of him. Everybody's trying to back up so they can get a run, so it's causing a little bit of a bottlenecking action in the middle of the pack with all the cars bump drafting behind. Can't lock bumpers in the Xfinity series, but you can tap a car and still give them a good push with it. But you cannot lock bumpers. It is against the rules in the Xfinity and Truck Series. Josh Berry back inside the top 10. The 26 car up the middle lane of John Hunter Nemechek making his Xfinity Series start tonight with the Truck Series off. He has now cracked the top 10. He'll move down to the inside. Lane changing going on. Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier will stay nose to tail in line behind the 2 of Sheldon Creed. Final lap now in stage 2. That time by at the start-finish line as Noah Gregson continues to lead. Rainer Brown's 3 wide middle now between the 31 of Lance Snyder, a little outside the top 10, and Ryan Sieg in the 39. Gregson up to the outside, the middle of the corner, now back down to the bottom off the exit of turn 2, back to the top. Creed's going to get turned off the exit of turn 2. Sheldon Creed's going to lock it down. He's going to try to save it. He's sliding towards the inside retaining wall. He keeps it off. Still green. Still green. They'll be racing for the Stage 2 win this time by. Nobody else was collected, just a single car spin. Still green flag conditions. Creed's out of the way. The caution flag will be coming when the top 10 hit the start-finish line. Noah Gragson is well clear. No run from the 23 of Alfredo in second. And Noah Gragson will win his 11th stage of the season, winning Stage 2 at Daytona tonight. Anthony Alfredo will end up second. Riley Herbst third. Fourth was Sam Mayer. Josh Berry rounds out the top 5 at Stage 2. John Hunter Nemechek in 6th. Ty Gibbs in 7th. Justin Allgaier 8th. Mike Snyder in 9th. And Ryan Sieg will round out the top 10 in our second stage of the evening. Wild finish to Stage 2. Creed got hooked off the front bumper of the 7 car of Justin Allgaier. Allgaier was getting pushed by the 1 car of Sam Mayer off the exit of turn 2, and he got pushed right into the 2 of Creed. He clipped him in the left rear corner panel. Great save by Creed. He kept it off the inside wall, so he'll be able to continue, but he's going to lose a bunch of track position. Yeah, great driving by Creed. He was able to hang on to it. He kept it off the inside wall. He flat spotted some tires, but he'll be able to get the pit road, get new tires, and he's still in it. The RCR cars have been proven to be fast in the super speedways in recent years, and they're obviously both fast again tonight, so he could still have a shot. Boogalee, thanks for tuning in. Got 90 people watching right now. Thanks for everybody watching. Like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Live race commentary of tonight's Wawa 250 for the NASCAR Xfinity Series. They had about a 3-hour rain delay, but we were not streaming during that like I would for the Cup Series races. Yeah, he was a little too far off the bottom, which is why he got hooked. I mean, part of why. It was a combination of, obviously, Sam Mayer was pushing Justin Allgaier. And he pushed him into the left rear corner panel of Creed, but Creed was so far off the double yellow line that there wasn't enough room for Allgaier to completely get underneath him. So when he got pushed by Mayer, he clipped him directly in the left rear. I mean, it wasn't anywhere close to hitting him square on the back bumper by any means. So if Creed would have been more on that double yellow line, considering they were already on the back straightaway and weren't in that transition from the banking to the flat of the track, I think it just would have been a normal bump draft. But it was just that where the contact was. It was more directly in the left rear corner panel than what it was anywhere close to the center of the back bumper of Creed's race car, which sent him spinning. Where did Herbst start the stage and end up third? I have no clue where Herbst started in the stage. I'm not sure where a lot of guys started in the stage, to be completely honest. So caution's out for the 4th time today. Daniel Hemrick will get the free pass during the stage break. Final pit stops of the race coming up.
Green here finishing second in Stage 2, and the team continued to instruct him about those gaps behind him and how to lead better. It's going to be 4 Goodyear tires and Sunoco fuel and a small air pressure adjustment, Dave.
Sam Mayer in the 1 car was told it was one of those no-slide-em kind of pit stops. That'll be 2 right-side tires and Sunoco fuel, Marty.
Riley Herbst finished 3rd in Stage 2 there, Dave. They're going to take on 4 Goodyear tires here for him. Oh, actually, right sides only for Noah Gragson. It was fuel only for him. He did want to tear off. He said 1 car out there, not sure who it was, seems to be leaking oil. A tear off for Gragson, who wins the race off pit road with that fuel only call.
So Noah Gragson is going to win the race off of pit road, going no tires. Everybody behind him took at least 2. And pretty much everybody who cycled off of pit road from about 7th on back took 4 tires. So it'll be an interesting call for Gragson going no tires. We'll see if he'll have the grip, as we still have just less than 40 laps to go by the time we go green to start the final stage of tonight's race. Hope Anthony Alfredo wins today. He's got a shot. He looks pretty sporty today. There's quite a few cars that look good. I think Gregson's the favorite right now, though. I think Gregson's controlling the pack. He's looking like he potentially has the fastest car in the field. I mean, that's the thing with super speedway racing. You don't really know for sure. Like, you could probably justify, and I could justify that Gregson's probably got the fastest car in the field. But there could be drivers in the middle of the pack that just have been boxed in the whole time, haven't been able to get all the way up to the front of the field, or maybe they've been being patient, staying in line, not making drastic moves to keep themselves from putting themselves in harm's way of getting in an accident, taking them out of the race. That could have the car, but they haven't been pushing 100% versus Gregson has been. How many sets of tires are they getting tonight? I have no clue, but I don't think it matters at this point. Nobody else will have to pit the rest of the race. They're plenty good on fuel to the end. If we see any cautions, you'll probably see cars pit maybe towards the tail end of the lead lap just to top off on fuel, just in case we go a bunch of overtimes. But we probably have to go at least 3 overtimes to even have a question on if these guys are going to make it on fuel. So should be no problem making it on fuel to the end, because the fuel window is 45 to 50 laps. And there's 38 to go when they came out of the pits, and we're still under caution. So they're able to shut the car off, turn it back on. Tyler Burback, thanks for tuning into the stream. Not looking forward to Freddie Kraft, though. Him yelling 3 wide like he does in Ignition is annoying. 3 wide. You got 2 to your outside, 2 to your outside. 3 wide, 3 wide, 3 wide. All clear, all clear, all clear. HP Cup Series, thanks for tuning in to the stream, Daddy. I'm not your dad, boy. Hopefully the mic's fine. Hopefully I'm not talking any quieter than what it was at the start of the stream. I'm speaking deep enough that I think I can get through the mic without whispering, but this is like as close to whispering as I could possibly get without actually whispering. So hopefully I'm loud enough again. I want to be able to have you guys hear the commentary at the same time, trying to keep it down as much as I possibly can, because it is late at night and I've got some people sleeping that have to work tomorrow morning. So I have to work tomorrow morning too, but I have an obligation here with this stream, and I was planning on giving it to you rain or shine. We had rain. It is dark now, but we are racing. I acknowledged you. Fredo gonna win. He's looking strong. I don't know though. No, I think Noah Gregson's definitely the one to beat, as I just mentioned. Green flag back in the air as Gregson elects the inside lane on the restart. It'll be Riley Herbst on the outside of the front row. Ty Gibbs, my pick to win today's race, in 5th place right now. And had a pretty good launch. The entire inside really was a lot more coordinated, as the first 3 cars in the inside lane are all clear of Riley Herbst, who was the first car on the outside on the restart. They all move up in front of Herbst. They move to the outside lane as soon as they possibly could, leaving the 19 of Brandon Jones to lead the bottom with Josh Berry behind him. Ty Gibbs now going to move down in front of his teammate. Brandon Jones makes a pass, slides up in front of the 7. Great move by Ty Gibbs. Moved to the inside. He side drafted the 7 car, pulled him back off the back bumper of the 9 of Gregson. Had enough of a run to slide back up in front of Allgaier, in front of the 7 and behind the 9. That was a textbook super speedway pass by the young master himself, Ty Gibbs. Even on super speedways, looking like a wily veteran. It's insane how much talent this kid has. Remember, he won at Atlanta earlier this season, the first Xfinity race at Atlanta. So he does have a super speedway win himself this season, proving that he can win on any style of racetrack. And he's all over the back bumper right now of Noah Gragson. 5-car breakaway, 3 wide for 6 right now, as it looks like Ryan Sieg in the 39 has been put in the middle lane and nobody wants to work with him. We've seen a lot of 3 wide racing today. Sieg trying to force his way in the outside between Allmendinger and the 26 of John Hunter Nemechek, but that wasn't going to work. Now he side drafts the inside, almost making contact with Brandon Jones. He is being very aggressive right now, trying to get into lane, but there's just nowhere to go. And he's just going to have to wait for his spotter to say clear for him to move up somewhere. Aggressive move by Brandon Jones, moving to the outside. That stacks up Ricky Stenhouse Jr. as he just was able to get in front of the 48 of Stenhouse. And right in line behind the two colleague cars right now, the 16 of Allmendinger and the 10 of Castle. Single file accordion line through the top 10 or 12. And then everybody else on back still on the bottom trying to get the inside to work. Myatt Snyder's the first car down there with Austin Hill and the 21 behind him. Feel only for Noah, he'll get smoked. He did mention under the first stop of the day when he did take 4 tires earlier, when everybody else took fuel only, that he felt his car had a lot of grip. And there's been a lot of drivers saying that they have been very loose in today's race. I don't know about anybody being really tight, but they have been very loose. And Gregson's saying he's got grip, but hopefully those tires can hold on, because he's asking of about 70 to 80 laps on those tires just to make it to the end for when he pitted in the middle of stage 1 and went fuel only, and again the only car to go fuel only to keep that track position at the front of the field. He's leading right now, but Ty Gibbs is right in line behind him. Justin Allgaier in third. He may work with his teammate Gregson. If Gibbs does pull out a line, I don't think Allgaier is going to go with him. Sam Mayer, also a JRM car inside the top 5 and 5th, but he's got Herbst in between himself and Allgaier. Your top 5 is Noah Gregson first, Ty Gibbs in second, Justin Allgaier third, Riley Herbst in fourth, Sam Mayer the top 5. Daniel Hemrick moving on to the inside. Remember, he got the free pass after falling a lap down, falling off the lead draft, trying to conserve his tires and potentially go fuel only. It didn't matter, though, because he ended up going a lap down. He had to restart the rear of the field, but he's already inside the top 15 after getting the free pass. Just over 90 people watching right now. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. NASCAR may make a decision tonight whether they move the Cup race Sunday. Radar is looking worse Saturday for the Cup. No, they're not gonna move it tonight, because they still have an air time that they're gonna be airing for and everything. So they can't do that. I don't think they can legally do that with their contract. Especially on national television. On the big NBC. They'll still have to go live tomorrow at whenever their pre-race is supposed to start. Sam Mayer going down to the inside, but a little too early. He's going to fall out of line. That's one less Junior Motorsports Chevrolet inside the top 5, and nobody will go with Mayer. Big mistake by the young gun, Sam Mayer. I'm not sure exactly why he pulled off the outside. I don't know if it was intentional or not, but he is on the bottom all by himself. There's a couple cars pulling out of line a little further back that are going to the inside. It's like Daniel Hemrick. Another colleague. It's Daniel Hemrick. Looks like Austin Hill and Josh Berry are 4 cars on the bottom. Myatt Snyder also down there, but they're all outside the top 15 right now, so they've got a long ways to go to try to get up towards the front of the field. 29 laps still to do so, plenty of time, and I'm sure more cars will move to the bottom if they see them getting some sort of a run.
After I side drop them, so that will be 1-2. Assuming the 98 will stay with us, try and chuck the 54.
Oh, the 98's gonna...
98 has a problem. He's spinning down into the grass as he works his way into turns 3 and 4. Riley Herbst has a flat tire going into turn 3, and as he slides through the grass, I believe he has kept it off the wall. Caution's out for the 5th time today. Wild ride through the grass for Riley Herbst. He is stuck down in the grass with a flat tire, and obviously all that rain has saturated the infield grass, but he is actually rolling out of it. He did not completely stall out. So Riley Herbst, having a flat tire, lost control going into turn 3. Looks like his left rear tire went flat. And ended up going for a spin, but nobody else was collected. He was able to get down to the grass. I almost wonder if he spun his car intentionally into the grass. Even if he didn't spin intentionally into the grass, great job by Riley Herbst. Keeping that car off the inside wall, similar to what Sheldon Creed did at the end of Stage 2. Although Creed was in the asphalt, maybe a little less traction control in the grass and more luck for Herbst's sake, but it doesn't really look like he damaged the splitter going through the grass, which I'm quite surprised. It's not like the Cup cars right now where the ride height's a little bit taller. Usually you see the splitters get severely damaged in an instant like that, especially in the wet grass, but somehow, some way, I think the splitter's perfectly fine for the most part on Riley Herbst's race car. He's been competitive all night, so I wouldn't count him completely out of it. This is the 5th caution. 5th caution, 3rd for incident or debris today. 2nd for incident. We've had 1 debris caution and then 2 stage breaks. It's the first caution for incident since back at lap 14 when Sammy Smith had spun off turn 4 into the inside wall. Got some drivers at the back of the field that are going to top off on fuel here, no surprise. So again, we are under caution after Riley Herbst has spun going into turn 3, blowing a left rear tire on the middle of the back straightaway. I would assume Herbst was one of the drivers that probably took right sides only and probably just had a lot of wear on that left rear tire. And over time, unfortunately, it had worn right off. Valvoline Warrior, thanks for tuning in. Almost everyone on the lead lap. Pretty much. Sheldon Creed got the free pass, by the way, during that most recent caution. He was a lap down after spinning at the end of stage number 2. So that is a good caution for Creed to get it back on the lead lap. I didn't even realize he fell a lap down before that. So everybody that's still in the race is on the lead lap. All 37 cars. Again, the only one out of the race is Sammy Smith, who crashed way back on lap 14. Jax, thanks for tuning into the stream as well. Like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Again, if you are tuning in for the first time, returning viewer or more, be sure to hit that like button. Helps these streams out a ton. Subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Appreciate you guys staying up late tonight. We don't usually pull in as big of numbers, nowhere near as big of numbers for the Xfinity and Truck Series live streams on the channel. This one probably not so much, considering we had a 3-hour rain delay at the start of the race, but it is just past midnight on the East Coast right now, and appreciate you guys staying up late here to watch this. I have to wake up for work at the latest in 3 hours and 48 minutes approximately right now, so this is rough. I've been up since 4:30 a.m. this morning, by the way, as well. So I also had to work a 10-hour shift today. I have to do it again tomorrow, and it is going to be a long one. Teams that stayed out might pay for gas and go. Yeah, nobody actually stayed out of the pits completely. Everybody came in during the stage break because they were going to have to at least top off to make it on field to the end. But I mean, we'll see. Obviously, Riley Herbst had a tire issue. That's definitely going to make the drivers that took 2 tires, or in Gregson's case was the only driver that took no tires, a little skeptical on whether their left sides are going to hold up to the end of this race. Especially with the looser conditions we have seen today, that does justify why Riley Herbst had blown a left rear tire, because if he was loose, like most of the drivers have been today, and his left side tires are as old as his was. It's no surprise that left rear tire went down. So hopefully that's the only driver that has that kind of an issue, but we'll definitely monitor that going forward. There were about 6 or 7 cars that took right sides only to gain track position on pit road, and we know Gregson again was the only one on no tires. Everybody else had 4. See when I'm dead. I'm definitely going to be throwing some coffee in me. I don't usually drink coffee, but I'm going to stop on Starbucks on my way out of town tomorrow night, which is why I can't stream, in hopes that I could stay up to watch this race tomorrow while I'm on the road. Well, I won't be watching while I'm on the road. I'll be in a destination by the time this race airs tomorrow. I'm pulling for the race to get rained out just so I can do live commentary on Sunday. So these are the biggest streams of the race weekend. I like watching the race with you guys too. So. Oh well. Alright, about to go green. Never mind. They have turned the lights back on and the pace car will have one more caution lap. So we'll have about 24 laps to go when we go green at Daytona tonight. I'm hoping it stays green to the end of the race so this thing gets done by about 12:30. Last thing I want is a big one and a red flag. This thing doesn't get done till like 1 in the morning. I will gladly take that extra half hour of sleep. Riley Herb's backed on pit road, trying to repair any damage to the splitter of the car. Like I said, it looks fairly good. He's topping off on fuel too while he's down there. Probably the main reason he pitted again. Some Black Rifle. I don't drink straight coffee. I don't know if I mentioned that on the channel before, but I'm not a coffee drinker. Like, I just don't like it. I'll get iced coffee from like Starbucks on occasion, but that's pretty much about it. But it's not even like, what I get isn't even really coffee though. It has espresso in it. That's about the only coffee related thing in it. I mean, there is some coffee in it, but it's not really coffee. Like, there was one day, and it was not the last time I was there, but I was there like a couple weeks ago, and it felt like it was missing something. Like, it had too much of a coffee taste. I honestly didn't even like it. Like, I've tried drinking coffee before. I just don't like it. Water's good enough for me. I mean, that's about all I drink anyway, but just give me a ice cold glass of water in the morning. That wakes me right up. I don't need coffee. I just don't like the taste, honestly. I just can't get over it. I've tried it multiple times, too. It wasn't like it was just the first time. Let me try it again. I've tried it like 2 or 3 times, and it's just not for me. I just don't like it. I'm more into colder drinks, too, so that's probably why like iced coffee's maybe a little bit better, like, for my liking. I like colder drinks, more refreshing drinks. Even in the wintertime, I'll be drinking colder stuff. I've never been one for like warm tea or something like that. I've never been one for that either. No warm drinks for me. Green flag is going to be back in the air. The 2 JRM cars down in the bottom lane of Justin Allgaier and Noah Gragson are pushing each other as they get to the start-finish line, and 2 Toyotas on the outside of Ty Gibbs and John Hunter Nemechek trying to work together. A couple colleague cars are side by side right now. It'll be interesting to see if they can get that 10 car in front of him. I think AJ Allmendinger, it looked like he was going to try to hold back. He did not. Allmendinger and Haley are nose to tail right now at 5th and 6th behind the 2 JRM Chevrolets. And Allmendinger now pushing the 7 of Allgaier. Allgaier getting a big run to the back bumper of the 9, while the 54 of Ty Gibbs starts to go backwards on the outside lane. He is back to about 4th place. 26 still on the back bumper of the 54. One car moves high. That's Justin Haley in the 14. He'll be able to clear Ty Gibbs on the outside. And the top 3 in front of Haley also move up high in front of the 14. So 2 JRM Chevrolets, followed by 2 colleague Chevrolets, followed by 2 Toyotas of Nemechek and Gibbs are all in the outside lane. all trying to work in cohesion with each other, in the hopes of hopefully trying to get one of their team cars into victory lane today. And remember, if we get a wild card winner that could lock themselves into the playoffs that is running full-time in the Xfinity Series, that could shake up the playoff standings quite a bit. Sheldon Creed, after spinning at the end of Stage 2, has found his teammate Austin Hill. They're working in the middle lane with Riley Herbst, who just spun moments ago in the middle as well. Yep, the race would be official if it did rain, but I don't think there's any rain in the area anymore. I saw that comment, Keith. I'm aware of that comment. The two RCR Chevrolets and Riley Herbst were able to get down to the bottom. Oh my goodness. I thought they were going to wreck there going into turn 3. The 27 car got hung out in the middle. He almost moved down in front of the 1 of Sam Mayer, who was leading the inside with a push from Daniel Hemrick on the back straightaway. And Jeb Burton, after being in the top 5 on the restart, finally gets to the outside, but he's going to be now right around 20th. 21 laps to go, this time by for Noah Gragson, who has dominated the race. He has led 35 of the 79 laps so far, almost half the race. Chevrolets run and rule the top 6 before you find a Toyota in 7th. 7th and 8th for that matter. No Fords inside the top 10. Although there isn't that many Fords in the field in the Xfinity Series anyway. I think there's only like 4 of them. 5. Okay, there's 7. There's 7 of them. But a few of them are back markers and usually don't run there, like Joe Graff Jr., Kyle Sieg, and Josh Williams. I don't think those guys count. Or David Starr. I think there's only 2 competitive Ford drivers every week, and that would be Riley Herbst and Ryan Sieg. Those are your most competitive Ford drivers. I don't think the Fords have a very deep development program. Quick side note, by the way, that's probably what's leading into Ford's problems in the Cup Series, too, because you look at Cole Custer, and you talk about replacing it. If they can't get a veteran into that 41 car, what else are they going to do? I mean, they don't have anybody else in the pipeline. Maybe Zane Smith is the best option in the Truck Series, but he's never... I guess he had 1 Cup start earlier this season, but he's got 1 career Cup start. He filled in for Chris Buescher when he had COVID at Gateway. They've got to do something here because they're not built for the future. It's like getting Kyle Busch would be so big. Because not only they can get Kyle Busch, but they can get his entire Truck Series program. And then you got, all of a sudden, a guy like Chandler Smith in your pipeline, who's showing some prowess in the Truck Series. John Hernimachek may make the move as well. Of course, Nemechek drove for Front Row Motorsports, who was in a Ford before that. Scrambling right now as Sam Mayer started to move that inside line up. The 2 teammates of Sam Mayer, of Justin Allgaier and Noah Gragson, saw that, so they moved down to the inside. So now it's the 2 colleague Chevrolets leading the top of AJ Allmendinger, followed by the 14 of Justin Haley. And the other 3rd colleague car of the 4 of Landon Castle now working the 3rd lane. And 1 car turned across the field as John Hunter Nemechek cautions out. And he hit the 2. Oh, they're still wrecking on the back straightaway. Major wreck. I think Sheldon Creed came back across the track, and 1 car is totaled. Sliding through the grass, and that would be Joe Graff Jr. Caution is out with 18 laps to go. It's not the big one, but it has taken out a handful of cars. 5 or 6 of them total involved in the accident. Not sure exactly how it started. I just kind of glanced up and saw 1 car getting turned across the middle of the back straightaway. I would have to imagine it might have been lane changing gone wrong. Heavy damage on the 2 car of Sheldon Creed. His day's going to be done. What a tough break for Creed. There is some major damage right now on that 2 car, as well as the 07. There were some hard licks in there. It's caution number 6. Creed is out of his car. Joe Graff Jr. is climbing out of his car currently. I think Sheldon Creed came back across the racetrack. John Hunter Nemechek turned down into the 2 of Creed, which sent Creed sideways. And Nemechek had some damage. He was sliding through the grass. And then when they panned back to the back straightaway, there was just a bunch of other cars involved. And I think the 2 came back across the track. Brandon Brown had gotten into the back bumper of John Hunter Nemechek off the exit of turn 2. That contact spun the 26 down the track into Sheldon Creed, who was below him when they were 3 wide. Nemechek was in the middle lane with Brown behind him. And then Creed came back across the track right in front of the 07 car of Joe Graff Jr. And pretty much everybody else had missed the wreck. A couple cars had to go down into the grass to miss it, but they were able to keep control of their cars and miss it. So pretty much just a 3-car accident. And all 3 of those cars are out of the race as their drivers have climbed away from the race cars. Again, Joe Graff Jr., Sheldon Creed, and John Hunter Nemechek will all be done. Heavy shot to the 2 of Sheldon Creed. It completely caved in the right side door of the 2 car. You can see the roof. For those of you watching on the USA Network, the roof of the 2 on the right side was actually kind of shifted upwards. The entire right side door was caved in. All the foam was flying everywhere on the back straightaway as well, and then the wheel was also shifted upwards, making it kind of difficult for Creed to climb out of his race car. Major damage. Tim Irvin, thanks for tuning into the stream. Imagine driving 200 miles per hour down the interstate. That's what happens to you. Yeah, pretty much. We are live. Almost 1 a.m. This is definitely the latest live stream. I don't know that I've gone past midnight many times before. Actually, did the Nashville race go past midnight this season? I feel like it did. Nashville might have went past midnight this year. It was a 7-hour stream. It was a long one. We might not have made it to midnight, but it was a long one. This isn't a long stream. It's just a long day. We didn't start the stream until the race started this time, which was right at 10:30 is when we started the stream. So we're honestly just getting to the 2-hour mark. Got over 100 people watching, though. Thanks for everybody tuning in. We're under caution for the 6th time today following an accident between Sheldon Creed, John Hunter Nemechek, and the 07 of Joe Graff Jr. were the only 3 cars that were taken out of the race and that were realistically involved. It all started with contact from the 68 of Brandon Brown to the back bumper of John Hunter Nemechek. They were 3 wide in the middle off the exit of turn 2 with 18 laps to go. And bump draft gone wrong from the 68 of Brown. Turned the 26 into the 2. The 2 of Creed was on the inside of the 26 car, 3 wide. And then the 2 came back across the racetrack after the contact with Nemechek, which made for a massive hit from Joe Graff Jr. into the right side door of the 2 of Sheldon Creed. Very lucky he was hitting the right side door, not the left side, with how much it had caved in the door. That was a massive hit to Creed. And Creed had one of the probably top 5 cars in this race today. He was hanging around the top half of the field pretty much all day long until that late wreck, the late spin in stage 2 put him back in that situation, back in the pack for him to be involved in that accident as well. Tough night for Sheldon Creed. And he'll lose more points to the cutoff line. He came in first driver below the cutoff line in the Xfinity Series by 39 points to Ryan Sieg. Sieg's still in the race, obviously, and Creed's done. And didn't get a lot of stage points because of spinning at the end of stage 2 as well in the final lap when he was inside the top 10 then. Yeah, that is true. That 500 went that late. I think the year Dale Jr. one went late too, didn't it? That one went well past midnight, 2014. I don't think it went as late as that 2012 500, but it was pretty late. Big Dog, thanks for tuning in. Cup race is tomorrow night, yes. I will not be able to do live commentary of the Cup race tomorrow, though. That is why we're doing live commentary of tonight's Xfinity Series race. No stream on the channel tomorrow. Got 120 people watching right now. Thanks for everybody tuning in. Again, be sure to hit that like button. And also subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Live race commentary for the real races on the race weekend. I will be able to do live commentary for the Cup race only if it gets rained out and rain on Sunday. But if it is not rained out tomorrow, I will not be able to do the commentary of the race tomorrow. But I will get that to you guys on Sunday if it is postponed to Sunday for inclement weather. Here's an interview with Noah Gregson's crew chief.
You guys have played nice with teammates on restarts here with Justin Allgaier behind you. Do you expect that to continue with what's going to be like 12 to go?
Yeah, I think so. You know, Junior Motorsports brought some really fast Camaros here, so it's been really nice working with our teammates. Everybody's done a nice job. It's going to get really intense right here, so we got to do the right thing on this restart. Try to get teamed up with those guys because the Collie guys are going to try to team up, and we got some strong guys working against us. So I feel good about our shot. Noah's been doing a great job, so we'll see how it goes.
How nerve-wracking is it with 12 to go, knowing how good the car has been, but now it's out of your hands?
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing about these speedway races, right? It's anybody's game here in the closing hours, so I feel good about it. I think we've got the strongest car, and I think we've got the best driver, so we'll see what happens.
A lot on the line here, Rick. You showed the playoff standings just a second ago. If Noah Gregson can pull this off, he would pass Ty Gibbs with more playoff points in the 54. Believe me, he's aware of that fact.
Yeah, that would put him at 31 playoff.
Tim Irvin, thanks for the $4.99 super chat. Got one more beer left before the race is over. This one's for Keeg Dog. Keep doing what you're doing, brother. Love the commentary and the channel. Well, I greatly appreciate that super chat, Tim. Thanks for being a longtime supporter of the channel as well. Formula Racing Fans Edits, thanks for tuning into the stream here late as well. But they are okay. Everybody was able to get out of their cars under their own power, and we'll be heading to the restart this time by. We'll have 13 laps to go in this race. Will this be the final restart? That was the biggest accident of the day. It was really only the second accident of the day, and it was just 3 cars involved. Hopefully that's all it is. We get this thing over as soon as possible because I have less than 3.5 hours of sleep as of right now, and counting down the clock to my alarm in the morning. Oh, jeez. I thought about taking a nap, but I was scared I was going to wake up and the race was going to be on, so I had to stay awake before I started the stream, unfortunately. Otherwise, if I would have known it was going to be 3 hours, I could have slept for 3 hours and probably could have gotten like 6 or 7 total tonight. Green flag is in the air. The 9 of Noah Gragson going to get a push from the 16 of AJ Allmendinger. His teammates on the outside right now of Justin Allgaier and Sam Mayer are not going to allow the 9 car to move in line. I'm very shocked that they did not try to hold back, let the 9 car jump in front of them. There are 2 car lead cars on the inside right now behind Gragson. Allmendinger in the 16 and the 14 of Justin Haley, who's making his one-off start today for the Xfinity Series. Haley gets bounced around on the inside lane as Gibbs got a shot from the 10 car of Landon Castle. Simultaneously, Castle pushes the 54 into the 14, but on the outside is where Gregson moves now in front of his teammates Allgaier and Sam Mayer into turns 3 and 4. Remember, Noah Gragson took fuel only during that last caution. Austin Hill goes 3 wide up the middle, right in front of Ricky Stenhouse Jr. in the 48, who gave him a pretty good push. Now Allmendinger moves up into the middle. He's abandoning his teammate, Justin Haley, right now in the 14 car. And Allmendinger wants to move back down to the bottom, but Haley is losing ground on the inside with Ty Gibbs and the 10 car as well down on the bottom of Landon Castle. Allmendinger moving up in that middle lane, which is the second lane closest right now to the race leader Noah Gragson on the top. Bump draft between the 1 and the 7. Second and third place on the outside lane. Allmendinger on the inside of the 7 for second into turns 3 and 4. The 21 of Austin Hill trying to go for his third super speedway win this year. The 9 of Gregson goes down to control the inside lane as he blocks the 16 back up to the outside off the exit of turn 4 in front of his teammates. Again, back down to the bottom as Gregson is controlling both the inside and the outside. 11 laps to go now at the line as they are 3 by 3 through most of the field. Allmendinger moves to the outside. He's going to split out the JRM cars now as he moves up in front of Justin Allgaier. That was a smart move by Allmendinger. That's going to leave the 21 car first on the bottom with damage after a pit road incident way back in stage 2 with the 45 car of Cesar Baccarella. I'm not sure if Hill's going to be a good lead car in the draft. He's starting to go backwards as a result, as now the top 4 on the outside lane are clear of the 21 of Hill on the bottom, who's getting pushed by Stenhouse. Haley into the middle line again. He's still losing ground. Every lane he goes to, nobody wants to work with Justin Haley. Anthony Alfredo going to move up in front of him now, as well as Stenhouse and Hill. Top 4 still single filed and side by side from 5th through about 12th and 3 wide after that. 10 laps to go as they circle their way off the exit of turn 2. Noah Gragson is the race leader. And here's John Hunter Nemechek following his crash.
I haven't seen a replay, but I think I got hooked in the left rear. I'm not sure if somebody came off the line or got tight, but hooked me and spun us. Sucks. I hate it for Sam Hunt and everyone on that whole team. They brought a decent car tonight. Thank you to Toyota and the Freedom 13 Foundation. It was an honor to carry 13 laps with us. A year to the day today. So excited to be able to carry that. And such an honor. So, right.
Big wreck on the front stretch. 16 car of AJ Allmendinger's gone around. Josh Berry's involved. Myatt Snyder. Sam Mayer is all involved. Caution is out for the 7th time today in turns 1 and 2. You heard Dale Jr.'s voice crack there, and that was the beginning of it. Didn't see how it happened, though. Looks like Justin Allgaier was also involved in the wreck. I didn't see Gregson in it at all. 3 of the 4 junior motorsport cars were involved, all but Gregson. Allmendinger was in second before spinning, so I'm not sure exactly what happened, but it started at the front of the field. And caution is out again at Daytona. Mayer's going to be done. His window net's down. Allmendinger still running around on the apron of the track, but his left front tire is down. 8 laps to go when that caution flag came out. I still don't know that it was the big one. We only really had about 4 or 5 cars involved there. Just so happened to be they were all at the front of the field, and somehow everybody else missed them. It looked like the 7 of Allgaier was pushing the 16 of Allmendinger in the middle of the tri-oval, and then by the time they made their way from the banking of the tri-oval to the flat in the short chute between the tri-oval and turn 1, that's what caused the 16 car to lose control as he was simultaneously still getting pushed by the 7 on the outside. I'm not sure if Sam Mayer was maybe pushing Allgaier into the 16. That might have been the case. It looked like that could have been the case. If I had to guess, Sam Mayer was pushing the 7 of Allgaier into the 16. And that looked to be the case. Remember, Sam Mayer had pushed Allgaier into Creed back at the end of stage 2, which caused Creed to spin out before saving it as well. So that's the second time Sam Mayer has pushed Justin Allgaier into the car in front of him, causing a spin. This one, though, more towards the front of the pack, and it took out a lot of junior motorsport Chevrolets. Now Gregson's going to be all by himself. He's got no more teammates to work with. if he's going to want to win this race. He has led, by the time we go green, he's going to lead over half the race today. Car George 95, thanks for tuning in. Bill, thanks for tuning in. Yeah, JJ Yaley's in the top 10 right now, so is David Starr. I didn't even realize that. It's not because they've survived. I mean, they've survived the carnage, but there's really, I mean, there's still over 30 cars in this race. Drivers who were involved in that accident include Sam Mayer, Justin Allgaier, Josh Berry, AJ Allmendinger, Myatt Snyder, Ryan Sieg, and Sage Karam were all involved in the accident. Here's Sheldon Creed with Parker Kligerman.
That's probably the biggest one I've taken, or close to it. I'm not really sure what happened. I don't know if the 68 was pushing the 26 hard there or what, and kind of got him sideways and got him in front of me. And then when I started going back up the track, I knew I was in trouble there, and it was going to be unlikely to not get hit, and that was really big. So glad Joe and I are able to walk away, and also John Hunter. And man, RCR built us a really, really great race car in our ECR motor was great. Bummed for all the wheeling guys that are here that came support us. What a great race car, run up front. I want to watch the replay when the 7 got me. I don't know if that was just a racing deal or what, but I can't ask for more than that. You know, a fast race car, and I just got to go do my job the best. But I guess that makes the next 3 weeks pretty simple. I just got to go win.
I do okay.
Thank you.
Keegan Rader, thanks for tuning into the stream. Same first name, different spelling. Didn't see in the chat earlier. Thanks for everybody who is watching this race right now. Six laps to go under the caution. I'd have to imagine by the time they clean everything up, we're probably only going to have 2 or 3 laps left in this race. Rod G, thanks for the $5 super chat. Here's to staying up late to give us a great live stream. Great job, Keegan. Thank you. I'm giving you my best live I honestly think I have hit my marks probably 100% of the time with the live commentary. The problem is you can't hear my full animated voice just because I have to keep it down a little bit. So anything exciting that goes on, I'm trying to keep myself as tame as possible. I think I've done a good job of doing that. I know that's not exactly what you want out of a broadcaster, but it's a little different. Usually you're not broadcasting in your own house with at least 3 people sleeping at like 12:40 a.m. in the morning. This is an abnormal situation. Ross crashed the 88 in the race. New Ricky Stenhouse. You mean Ricky Spinhouse? Stenhouse is in 5th place. He's having a solid day. He's kind of... I wouldn't say he's got one of the faster cars on the field. Obviously, we know Stenhouse is really good on the super speedways, so him being up inside the top 5 on this late race restart, he's definitely a driver who could go out and win this race. But at the same time, he's been flirting with like the back half of the top 10 for a large portion of the day. He has been up there at the very, very front, leading laps like Gregson or even Ty Gibbs did earlier, Allgaier, or those guys. But he's quietly been in the top 10. Caleb Brinkley, thanks for tuning into the stream. Still got about 115 people watching. It is past midnight on the East Coast. It is almost 1 a.m. in the morning on the East Coast. Appreciate you guys tuning in tonight. Reagan Fan 6, thanks for tuning in. Hoping Brown, Sieg, or Alfredo, maybe even Hemrick. We'll see. Brown, Alfredo, or the dark horses. Alfredo hasn't won a race yet, correct? Still looking for his first career win. He's in 8th. He's had a strong car today, too. Of the cars that are left in this race, I've said Gregson's probably had the fastest. I still stayed true to that. I'd probably say of the cars that are at the front of the field that have the second fastest, I'd say even with the damage, Austin Hill and then Anthony Alfredo. That's probably the 3 fastest cars that are still in this race that have been up there throughout most of the day. Really, the only cars that were involved in that accident who would have had a shot on speed to win, too, would have been Mayer and Allgaier. Basically, Mayer kind of started it, and just a little too aggressive with the bump drafting. They're showing a little bit of an aerial shot, and it actually looked like Allgaier was already bump drafting the 16 before the 1 pushed him. But once the 16 got just a little bit loose, Allgaier probably checked up, which then the 1 car hit Allgaier, which turned the 16 car and obviously turned Allgaier and Mayer as well. So I don't think it was really as much Sam Mayer's fault as I originally thought it was. It looked like it was just maybe a little too aggressive by Allgaier, really. And it happened so quick that Mayer couldn't check up. Yeah, you don't want to make contact like that in the middle of the tri-oval, which is probably the lightest area of the track that these cars, or the lightest these cars are around this racetrack. Middle of the corner, you don't want to initiate contact there either. You want to initiate the bump draft or initiate the contact with the bumper to bumper contact on the straightaways and lead it into the corner, but because you can't actually lock bumpers, you can't really lead into the corner with the push either. So there's really no incentive in the Xfinity and Truck Series to even touch a car in front of you in the middle of the corner. But it was done there. They did not have to red flag the race. They credit to NASCAR for cleaning that up very quickly. Just 4 laps under the caution despite quite a bit of debris on the front stretch towards turn 1. 4 laps to go on the restart, green flag back in the air. Noah Gragson is going to restart in the lead on the inside lane. Daniel Hemrick will be the first car on the outside. Stenhouse is on the, Brandon Brown rather, on the inside line behind Noah Gragson, and then Ryan Sieg is pushing the 11 of Hemrick up high. Hemrick bobbling around, trying to side draft the right rear corner panel of the 9. He doesn't want Gragson to get away. Sieg is continuously pushing the 11 car. Has to be careful not to lock bumpers. He lets go just briefly, and he's still pushing on the back straightaway. Daniel Hemrick to the lead. Couple cars get bottlenecked now, 3 wide on the back straightaway. Looked like the 66 of J.J. Yaley went wide. 3 wide to the outside goes Austin Hill. Hill moves around the 39 of Sieg, who's all over the place before finding himself back down on the inside line. And now probably the 2 fastest cars that remain in this race are side by side for second of Austin Hill and Noah Gragson, while Hemrick is trying to block and hold on to the lead. This is the first lap Daniel Hemrick has led all day today, and it comes with just 3 laps to go. The way they're all swinging around right now, they are not going to make it to the end of this race. I'd be shocked. Hopefully they do, though. Want to move to the inside. Austin Hill is going to move around the 11 now. An aggressive move, and what a pass made by Austin Hill, and now Hemrick trying to block the outside. Nearly stuffs the 23 of Anthony Alfredo into the outside wall. Now it's Alfredo trying to make a move on Austin Hill, but he can't get back down to the bottom because Daniel Hemrick is still there. A couple cars move up into the outside. 1 car is in the outside wall. It's Landon Castle. Castle hangs on to his race car. We stay green. Everybody's going to cycle around him. Now Hemrick's around on the front stretch. He gets turned into the outside wall. Brandon Jones gets into the wall as well hard. The 98 is spinning in the grass, and the caution is out. We will be heading to overtime as they only got the 2 laps to go when everybody started wrecking off turn 4. Allgaier's involved in another wreck. Anthony Alfredo's around in the grass. The 08 of David Starr is wrecked. Caution is out again at Daytona. I'm not sure how that started, but the 11 was the first car to get turned around, and a lot of others soon followed. I didn't think they were going to make it the way they were racing off that restart. There was so much lane changing going on that I feel like somebody was just going to make a wrong move, and that seemed to be what happened there. So caution is out again in overtime. We will go. Jeb Burton also involved in the accident. David Starr is out of his race car. A couple of really big hits in there. So Landon Castle got up into the outside wall in turns 1 and 2. He kind of got squeezed by his teammate Justin Haley, which is what caused Castle to get in the wall. Everybody was able to go 3 wide around him to the inside. Great job by Castle not losing complete control, allowing them to race on for at least a couple hundred more feet before they ended up wrecking ahead of him anyway. Hemrick was right around second place when he had gotten spun. Still waiting to see if we get a better camera angle. Okay, here we go. So the 11 car... Okay. So the 11 went to make a move to the outside for the lead on Austin Hill. Then Austin Hill went up to block. He made a clean block. And then when Hemrick had gotten blocked on the outside, he tried to cut back down to the bottom to cross the 21 over, but the 9 of Gregson was already there, so he kind of turned himself off Gregson's front bumper back across the field. So that was definitely all on Hemrick there. He moved up to the outside, couldn't make the move there, went back down to the bottom, but the hole was already closed by the 9, and he turned himself off the front bumper of Gregson. Gregson did keep control of his car. I think he was in second or third when the caution came out, so he'll still be up towards the front of the field. Austin Hill will be the leader on the restart, so he'll get the lane choice and get to control the restart. Big hit for David Starr in the 0-8. He probably took the biggest hit of any car in that crash. Yeah, the 11 kind of turned himself. He just moved down. Driving out of the windshield, which I recommend him for not really driving out of the mirror. It didn't look like he was trying to block the 9. I think he was just trying to... He made that move. He was probably thinking he was still clear on the bottom. Not thinking that the 9 car had a run when he moved up in the first place. And it was still Hemrick's fault, but I don't think he was trying to block. I think it was just more he was trying to cross over the 21 of Hill when Hill went up and he mistimed it. Well, I was right. I didn't think they were going to make it. They did not. Sunshine Cool Water, thanks for tuning in. Had about 140 people watching here at one point. Hemrick wins the title again this year, winning only at Phoenix. Well, I will say this is going to help Sheldon Creed out because there were a couple drivers that were ahead of him on points that have been involved in accidents today. Ryan Sieg was in an accident. He was the last driver above the cutoff line. Actually, Sieg's still in the race. He's in 5th. But Landon Castle and Daniel Hemrick, they were the next 2 drivers ahead of Sieg in points, so... Creed's lost points to Sieg today, assuming Sieg still finishes and gets a good finish at that, considering he's in the top 5. But he has definitely kind of gotten bailed out with Hemrick and Castle both getting in that wreck. Well, this is going to go past 1 a.m. now. We're not under red flag, but it's going to take a bit to clean up again. Ty Gibbs better not win. I wish I put money on Ty Gibbs if he did win. I usually put money on my predictions for these live streams. I usually don't put money on the truck and Xfinity races, but I do if I'm doing live commentary for it because I can actually watch the race. And then every cup race I do. But I don't know what the odds were for Gibbs to win. Considering it was a super speedway, I would imagine it was probably at least 8-1. I mean, pretty much everybody is on the super speedways. Watch Jesse Wuji win somehow. He's in 18th. He would have to pull a James Busher 2012 finish if he's going to want to win this thing. Again, a very brief post-race show today. I'm going to go through the full field finishing results. And you'll get to listen to the winner's interview, and that's going to be it, because then I got to go to bed. By the way, Joey Gase got the free pass under the wreck where 3 of the 4 junior motorsport cars got caught up in it. The second to last caution at lap 91. He got back on the lead lap, and then he got caught up in that accident. Nobody got the free pass during that accident because there wasn't anybody that was a lap down that was still in the race. Everybody that was in the race was still in the lead lap. Now there's cars a lap down that have damage, obviously, because of this accident. What a tape job on the 21 of Austin Hill, but he's still got a shot. And we'll be heading to another restart. I credit the AMR safety team, the crew that NASCAR's got out there this weekend. They have made some very, very fast cleanups. We have seen a couple of wrecks where we've seen quite a bit of debris now in the late going, and they have cleaned the track up in a hurry because we're about to go green again very shortly. This has to be like the quickest I've ever seen these cautions just snap by. Here's Austin Hill's crew chief with Parker Kligerman.
Pull this off. That pit crew did a phenomenal job getting that car repaired and back out front. I'm telling you, it was a bonehead move on my part. I messed up on the timing leaving pit road and basically caused all that whole incident, but the crew has really rebounded. I mean, I'm telling you, I can't say enough about this crew. They repaired this car and it's got some speed to it. So
you won here in the spring by making a late move. Now you're the leader. Where do you guys want to be on that last lap? What have you discussed?
Derek and Austin's been coming up with a plan on the radio, talking back and forth. Hope we can keep it out front like we did at the end here.
That's the plan, Dave. Keep it out front. It's that simple.
Well, Parker, let's just peek into their world with a little radio chatter between Austin Hill and his spotter, Derek Nealon.
So you do what you think you need to do, but it seems like these starts, the bottom row has been getting the good jump, and the bottom lane or the top lane surges when they get to about the 3/4 mark of 1 and 2, and they're the ones able to carry the momentum off of 2 and down the back and clear like the first 2 rows on the bottom.
Bottom row getting the good jump. And Junior, I mean, Austin Hill is very good at this. He's proven that this year, but Derek Nealon has been giving him spot-on information. What do you think about that bottom row?
Yeah, I mean, he told him to take the bottom lane, but it looks like Austin Hill's going to take the outside for the restart. They will be going green this time by. They're on the back straightaway right now. There are still 25 cars on the lead lap. And pretty much everybody inside the top 20 doesn't have any sort of damage from any accidents today, so still have over half the field that is still clean for right now. Which I'd say that's a successful super speedway race in this day and age if we have over half the cars finish without any major damage. And the top 20 on this restart, I cannot recall being in a wreck today. Well, Riley Herbst spun, but he didn't have any damage. That was because of a tire. It wasn't really his fault. But yeah, outside of that, though, they're all fine. So it'll be Ty Gibbs inside row 2. He'll be pushing Gregson. Brandon Brown will be on the outside of row 2, and he will be the one pushing Austin Hill in the 21. Hoping underdog wins. We'll see if that will be the case. We've got a couple of them towards the front of the field. Ryan Sieg still looking for his first career Xfinity Series win. Multiple-time playoff driver in the Xfinity Series, but has not won a race yet. Oh, Ty Gibbs spins the tires on the restart. Green flag back in the air. Gibbs got a shot from behind by Ryan Sieg, who's getting pushed by Stenhouse. They all bottleneck. Gregson's not going to have any help now, as it's side-by-side for the lead between Austin Hill and Noah Gragson. Brandon Brown in the 68 is going to push Austin Hill on the outside lane. He may try to take it 3 wide. Brandon Brown's not really pushing the 21 car, and the 21 was not able to clear the 9 of Gregson as a result. And now Brandon Brown gets bottlenecked by Justin Haley and Riley Herbst pushing him on the outside lane down the back straightaway, and Brown is going to get turned around in the middle of the pack. He is around, and we're going to have another big one. This is the massive one on the backstretch heading towards turn 3, as nearly every car that was still left has been involved. And we're going to go to a second overtime. And we're only going to have about a dozen cars left after this one. That was just a nutty restart from the start when Ty Gibbs about got spun in the middle of the tri-oval by cars behind him, and then he saved it. But then they bottlenecked again off turn 2 right around where Brandon Brown was in the middle of the back straightaway. Brown just got turned from another car from behind. I didn't see who it was in the heat of the moment. Everything happened so quick. Austin Hill, Noah Gragson were side by side for the lead when the caution came out. I'm not sure who was the leader. But we have seen another big one. Well, so much for over half the field still in this race without a caution. I may have jinxed it just slightly. I don't believe in jinxing. Everything happens. Me sitting in my room had nothing to do with what happened on the racetrack. It had nothing to do with the terrible driving that we just witnessed on the back straightaway. Oh, jeez. Yeah, sure, just prolong my bedtime even more. Why don't you? Every Xfinity race we've done live commentary for this year have been Wreckfest. Martinsville was probably the biggest of them all. Portland, and now this one. This one was fine up until like 2 restarts ago. And it looked like Riley Herbst was pushing the 68 of Brandon Brown, and he just went around. Probably didn't hit him square enough. Maybe he was getting pushed from a car behind him. But it was the contact from the 98 to the 68, which caused Brown to turn around middle of the back straightaway and in front of pretty much everybody. He was running about 4th or 5th, so the top 4 were able to get by still, but everybody else not so much. We're going to have a long list of cars that were involved in that wreck. Wild ride for Justin Haley in the 14 as he was getting pinballed around between Bailey Curry and another car in the grass. Ryan Sieg, Justin Haley, Ricky Stenhouse Jr., Ty Gibbs, Kyle Sieg, Brandon Brown, Riley Herbst, Bailey Curry, J.J. Yaley, Alex LeBay. There's so many cars in there. I'm just trying to count off of what I'm seeing. Blaine Perkins. Allmendinger kind of split the middle, got through it. And that's why he's back inside the top 5 again. The top 2 of Austin Hill and Noah Gragson got by. That wreck took out everybody from pretty much 3rd on back. There were some cars at the tail end of the field that were able to miss it because they were so far off the pack when they got spaced apart in the tri-oval due to Gibbs spinning his tires. Once we have the full list of drivers who were involved in that accident, you guys will get to listen in to see who was involved entirely there. Our second straight caution on a restart, resulting in what is going to be our second attempt at an overtime finish. And it's going to be our 3rd restart with 10 or less laps to go. Now they're still 1 lap away from the Oh, that was a restart before that. Yeah, that last restart. They were still on the back straightaway when they wrecked. They were nowhere close to halfway. Where's the overtime line when you need... The one time the overtime line would have actually saved me there. I could have actually been in bed by now. Now we're still sitting through this. I'm going to be so zombified at work tomorrow. It's going to be... There's going to be people like, dude, you look rough. You're going to be like, yeah. I didn't go to bed till 1:30 in the morning. Oh, why is that? Well, there was a NASCAR race. I was commentating it. There was a 3-hour rain delay. There was a lot of wrecks at the end of the race. Valhalla Sports Talk, thanks for tuning in. Almost a checkered flag, yeah. Almost. We're almost there. I'm not terribly tired now. It's just the fact that I know I have to get up in less than 3 hours now. If we didn't get all these late... I mean, what? I think it was 12:10 with 20 laps to go. And we've had 4 cautions from 18 laps to go to now that have made this race with 20 laps to go last another 55 minutes. And now we're going to our second overtime finish. Caden Rulas, thanks for tuning in. Is the race over? No, we are headed to overtime again. Second overtime finish coming up. I'm trying to get more excited. I would be more excited usually with all this stuff and more animated with the live commentary. Again, I'm trying to keep it down as much as I possibly can. I'm surprised we are still going, but well, I am, but I'm not. I did not think it was going to be this late of a night coming in. I didn't check the weather at Daytona before the start of the original start of the race, so I was like, oh, it's raining. I was looking at the radar. I was like, it doesn't look like it's going to be out of there till 9 o'clock. And sure enough, it was. And because it's Daytona, it takes a while to dry out. It took about an extra hour and a half for them to dry the track after that. Ryan Vargas, probably the cleanest car, sitting in 9th place. Been at the back all night. Yeah, well, sometimes that works out. Jesse Woogie, too, though. Matt Mills, all those guys are in the top 10. Sage Karum's in 6th. Timmy Hill is in 4th place on this restart, guys. Timmy Hill has kept that car spotless. That 13 car is looking pristine right now. Here's Matt Colleague with Marty Snyder.
Been in accidents today, really, when you think about it, are in the top 11. How in the world is that the case, Chris Rice?
The guy sitting beside me says, I love having 4 cars here. And somebody just texted me and said, I don't know how you do it with all the emotions, but, man, great race car drivers. AJ got wrecked by the 7 car down the front straightaway. Don't really understand why, but everybody's doing a good job. Very proud of everybody at Colleague Racing. We hadn't had fast cars tonight. We got to go to work. We're in trouble. We got to go to work.
Yeah, so let's talk about AJ's position here, being in 3rd. I mean, he's run up front all night long, but how damaged is the car, and could he still win it?
He can still win it. It's not that damaged. The hood was blown up a little bit, but everybody on the Action Industries car done a good job getting it all taped up, and AJ is fired up right now. I bet everybody heard him on the radio, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Dave, it is crazy. All 3 of the regular Colleague cars have been involved in a wreck of some sort tonight, but here they are, all in the top 11.
And leader Austin, looking stationary in the 21 car now, has been sloshing it back and forth a little bit. He said to his team, the fuel pressure's acting a little funky. It was down around 4, then it was up around 9 and 10. They said you should have plenty of fuel, so we'll keep an eye on that. Meanwhile, talking about drivers who have made their way toward the front, Jeremy Clements currently scored in 4th. He waited a couple of restarts ago, did not move forward, and now is in a position to possibly win this race from where he restarts. Parker.
Dave, another driver having a great run here in the top 10 is that 44 of Sage Karen. Remember, an IndyCar driver coming over here and doing a partial season in the Xfinity Series, but this is his first time at Daytona or Talladega. So I asked him, how do you approach this with no practice? He said, well, I reached out to somebody for help. I said, who is that? He said, Jimmy Johnson, none other than 7-time NASCAR Cup Series champion, who had some good advice from him, most of all, to sort of learn, take his time, and understand the draft, and then strike at the end. And I think he's done that. A little damage there in the front, but we'll see if he can pull off a top 10 finish his first time at Daytona.
There's no way Sage Karam can bump draft another car. His splitter is literally pointed upwards. He's still in 6th place. I don't know how he's going to bump draft. He probably won't be able to. Maybe he's the one that gets bump drafted and finds himself in the right place at the right time. off this final restart. Again, potentially final restart. Hopefully this one's it. There are still 19 cars on the lead lap. And looking at the leaderboard right now, for those who were not involved in the last accident, Daniel Hemrick was at the start, the cause of that the second to last wreck. And he's in 11th. So pretty much everybody in the top 10 have not been in a major wreck today. Everybody in the top 10 of the restart has not been in a major wreck yet. And I believe they'll be getting the 1 to go signal this time by Austin Hill. Was the leader at the time of the caution through the last scoring loop over Noah Gragson. So Hill will be the control car on the restart. AJ Allmendinger, who got spun in the middle of the tri-oval by Michael Annett. Or sorry, not Michael Annett, Justin Allgaier, is now up to third. Got to give Austin Hill props, so he might win 3 super speedway races of the first 5 this season. And that's with damage on the right front that he's been driving with for over half the race. From the contact with Baccarello on pit road way back in stage 2. I think it was the stage 1 break, to be exact. Ain't no fans there. Well, it is 1:10 in the morning. Might have something to do with it. It is just the Xfinity Series 2, though, Friday night. Why everyone love Timmy? Timmy Hill might win this race. He is restarting 4th. It's going to be tough to beat the 21 and the 9, though. Noah Gregson's had the fastest car in the field today, and Austin Hill arguably has had the second fastest car. If it wasn't for his damage, he might be right up there with the 9, but regardless of the damage or not, he's going to be right there with him on the restart, and he'll actually be the control car anyway. Major tape job on the right front fender of Austin Hill's race car, too. Jeremy Clements, yeah, that would be a good win, too. He does have 1 career Xfinity Series win. See if he can get a second today at Daytona. Yeah, I did see Craftsman return to NASCAR earlier. The Truck Series. I kind of don't like the logo, though. The logo looks kind of cheesy. I mean, the logo is pretty much the same thing that the Gander Outdoor Truck Series and the Camping World Truck Series has been. It's like that same rectangle shape. The colors are different. It's red and black with white lettering instead of white lettering with blue and black or blue and white or whatever it was before over the last couple years. But it's exactly the same. I was kind of hoping they would have the original logo or something similar to that, but it's not the case. Ends his long winless streak. That's true. We'll see. Timmy drafting Gregson, do your thing. I don't trust that Timmy Hill's got the great speed to be able to push the 9 of Gregson on this restart, but we'll see. And that is probably why Austin Hill elected the inside line for the restart, was to have Allmendinger behind him rather than Timmy Hill. Remember, we're in our second overtime. I mentioned if we were going to get to 3 or more overtimes, that fuel could become an issue today. I mentioned that way back during the stage 2 break based off of how many laps there was to go by the time we originally went green to start the final stage. And well, here we are going into a second overtime, and will this be the final restart? As we'll have just 2 laps to go. Again, overtime rules. The leader takes the white flag. The next flag would end the race, whether it's the yellow or the checker. So they get to the white flag, the race will be at least official. At about 1:15 in the morning, Eastern Standard Time. Christian Rudman, Colton Hurley, thanks for tuning into the stream as well. we'll see. It will be going green. Again, Hill on the inside. He'll have A.J. Allmendinger behind him. Noah Gragson will be on the outside of row 1, and it'll be Timmy Hill on the outside behind Gragson in row 2. Green flag in the air. Gragson body slams the 21 car on the restart. I don't think he meant to do that. I think he spun the tires, and that caused the 13 car to not give him a great push. Now the 13 locks bumpers with the 9, but Hill's going to move up and clear the 9. Hill went back down to the bottom there briefly for a second. That was strange, and then he went back up to the top anyway, right in front of Gragson. So Austin Hill is the leader through turns 1 and 2. They're going to work their way off the exit of turn 2 this time. Gragson in second place right behind him, side by side for third, with Allmendinger on the inside and Timmy Hill on the outside. Jeremy Clements is pushing Allmendinger on the back straightaway. Big run. Gragson sees that, and he moves down in front of the 16. The bottleneck. Gragson goes around. He's hard into the wall. Gets drilled to the 10 of Landon Castle, and we have another wreck and another caution. They're still wrecking in turns 3 and 4. Wyatt Snyder has been involved. Riley Herbst involved as well. Massive hit to the 9 of Noah Gragson. Hopefully he's okay. That was a massive hit from the 10 car. Another wreck. And another overtime coming up, our third of the race. And Austin Hill clearly was the leader at the time of that caution. And Gragson, who had the fastest car all day today, is now torn to pieces. Is driving away somehow. I'm surprised that car's still running, but he is definitely done. The entire rear and the front of that car is sheared apart, and now he'll come to a stop as he's got major smoke coming out of the car. And I'm surprised he's even able to get it back refired there, even for that brief moment. Matt Mills also involved in the 78 after restarting in the top 10. Yeah, it is now Saturday, by the way. I haven't really mentioned it. It is no longer Friday night anymore. Wow. Such a big hit. The entire 9 car was up off the ground after hitting the outside wall head on and then getting clipped in the right rear by the oncoming number 10 car of Landon Castle. That shot the 9 car in the air. Came back down on all 4. Was spinning like a top into turns 3 and 4 as the rest of the field was missing him to the inside and wrecking on their own, with other cars who were wrecking in front of him and also obviously getting involved with them. Ty Gibbs was also involved in that accident again. Crinkled the right front fender off of his car. Pretty big hit there for the 78. Jeremy Clements gave A.J. Allmendinger a massive push into the back of Noah Gragson, and that's what sent the 9 car around. We're going to have our third overtime finish. And now, all of a sudden, man, we hit... If I'm thinking correctly, I think the first overtime restart was at like 12:30, wasn't it? I think the first overtime restart was at 12:30 a.m. and now it's like almost an hour later and I'm still up. Oh my goodness. Took Rick Allen to be 10 years to be good. Rick Allen was really good in the truck series. I thought he was really good when he was calling the truck races back on Speed, him and Phil Parsons. That's just me personally. Rick Allen gets a lot of flack. It's hard. This is not easy to commentate. You gotta figure he's on national television too, so he's got a lot more pressure than me. Fuel race now, potentially. I mean, you might as well pit. I mean, there's only 15 cars on the lead lap. And half of them have serious damage. I mean, Allgaier's been in 2 wrecks. Gibbs has been in a couple wrecks. I know Snyder's been in a couple wrecks now. Sieg's been in a couple wrecks. Hemrick He wrecked hard already into the outside wall. He's still in it. Brandon Brown's been in a couple accidents. So, I mean, if you pit the top off on fuel, Riley Herbst has spun a couple times. Like, you're only going to lose, like, 5 or 6 spots to competitive cars. AJ flat out dumped him. Well, AJ was getting pushed by the 51, so even if he backed out of the gas, he was still going to get pushed into the back of the 9. And honestly, AJ hit the 9 car pretty square, but it was just such a big hit into the back bumper because he was being pushed by Clements. It obviously turned the 9 car right around. I think Wade Solinsky way back at the start of the night said this race is going to go till 2 in the morning. I was like, it should get done between midnight, 12:30, even if there's a few cautions. Well, there was more than a few cautions late in this race that were pretty massive. And we're now heading to our third overtime after 10 wrecks. And we have gone 13 laps past the scheduled distance all of a sudden. Here's Parker Kligerman with Jeremy Clements as crew chief.
That's no longer the case, but you come to every race. You guys are in third right now at Daytona. You think you can get it done?
Oh yeah, it's a big day for us. He's doing an awesome job. He's been trying to stay out of trouble and get to the end of this thing, and I think now it's time to go. He's saying he's just going to push whoever's in front of him all he can push.
When you guys are in this position, what do you tell him? Do you just say, just go for it, does nothing else matter?
Actually, we've been letting him and the spotter kind of determine what they needed to do. And obviously look at the rest of the field, how crazy it's all getting. That earlier in the race he was backing off some just because he felt like they were going to wreck, and trying to get to the end, you know, trying to make something out of this. He's real smart about that.
You can tell, guys, he's got many rooting down here in their pit right now for Jeremy Clements to maybe pull this off. So.
My bad. That was actually Jeremy Clements' dad. I didn't realize that. But remember, that's a family-built or family-owned race team with Jeremy and his father, so that is why he has as big of a role in that team between the two of them. Yeah, it was a massive hit for Gregson. Everybody, as far as we know, did get out of their cars following that most recent accident. Should just line them up in the infield, have a demolition derby, last car standing wins. Yeah, pretty much. Just think 2 wrecks ago, we still had over half the cars in this race without any damage. We have had almost 150 people watching for a little bit now. Be sure to hit that like button, subscribe for more daily NASCAR content if you haven't already. We are headed to a third overtime restart tonight at Daytona. And let's get to 100 likes, guys. We have 84 likes on the stream right now. Let's bump it up to 100. I did not think this race was going to take as long as it did. I obviously didn't think it was not going to start till 10:30 tonight, too. Well, I think the drop of the green flag was 10:51, so it has been just over 3.5 hours now, which is pretty long for an Xfinity race, but that's because we have had a lot of late race yellows. I should say 2.5. Yeah, it's 2.5. Wait, 11. Yeah, 2.5 hours. Did my math wrong. A little over 2.5 hours. You forget how they count to 3 when you've been up for 21 hours and dreading the fact that you're only going to have about 2.5 hours of sleep here. I was supposed to work out in the morning. I'm probably not going to do that. That was if I got up at 3:30. I was like, I can maybe squeeze a workout in if I got up at 4. I might not even do that anymore. And I'm not one for skipping workouts, but I'm going to need all the sleep I can get. This is almost kind of painful. I like NASCAR, but this is about as painful as it gets under my circumstances. If you guys don't hit that subscribe button, or that like button. I am going through the ringer. Just woke up here in the UK, 6:22 a.m. Well, enjoy an overtime restart in the Xfinity series. Jeff Sperry, thanks for tuning in to the stream, though. KR21OL, thanks for tuning in. So AJ Allmendinger ended up running out of fuel under caution. He's got the car to fire back up again, but it looks like they're going to have to bring Allmendinger onto pit road. He was in second place, but Allmendinger is low on fuel. He sputtered, so he's going to lose his spot anyway. He might as well top off. And AJ Allmendinger will pit from second. This is going to move Jeremy Clements to the front row on the restart. Paul Rodriguez, thanks for tuning in also. Streamer's life, you got this. This is true. This is very true. The race tomorrow is on NBC. This one was scheduled for USA Network tonight. Austin Hill talking about his cool suit just stopped working all of a sudden. So it sounds like an electrical problem with the 21 of Austin Hill. His cool suit is not working. And it seems like he's having some sort of an electrical issue with the car because Austin Hill is light on fuel. The lights are out on the pace car. They will be going green this time by. Jeremy Clements is going to be outside of the front row in the restart. Timmy Hill is going to be behind the 21. The 21 is on the apron in turns 3 and 4 trying to slosh fuel around in that car. I don't think he's going to have enough to make it to the end, even if he has enough to take off on the restart. Remember, this is a 2.5-mile racetrack. It is 5 miles to get to the checkered flag. Austin Hill is very, very slow right now. He is trying to keep up minimum speed. Will he pit coming to the green flag? And if he doesn't, he may run out in front of the field. If he does pit, that's going to give Timmy Hill the inside of the front row in the restart. Hill's going to pull back up into line. Pace car is going to pull to pit road, and we will be going green this time by. Will Austin Hill take off? He's on the inside. He's going to get a push from Timmy Hill. Green flag back in the air. The 21's not taking off. He's out of fuel. Austin Hill is out of gas. The 13 moves up out of line. That's going to stall out the 13 of Timmy Hill, and that's going to give Jeremy Clements the lead with Sage Karam pushing him. Now Brandon Brown's going to get a push from the 16 of AJ Allmendinger as they work into turns 1 and 2. Timmy Hill trying to find a drafting partner. He hops right in front of the 98 of Riley Herbst. And now Sage Karam is going to leave the 51 way out to dry. The 68 is going to move to the inside to make a pass for second on Sage Karam. Timmy Hill drafting in line now behind the 16 of Allmendinger as well. Brown's getting pushed by 2 cars from behind. He's going to move to the outside. Brandon Brown's going for the lead in turns 3 and 4. The 51 goes up high to block. Now the 16 of Allmendinger goes down low. Clements had a shot to move low. He didn't. AJ Allmendinger to the lead. He pitted because he was out of fuel during the caution, and now he leads off turn 4. The 98 of Riley Herbst is going to go around in the tri-oval. He slides to pit road. White flag in the air. 1 lap to go. Will the caution come out? We are still green. The 51 is back in the lead. Caution's out, and Jeremy Clements is going to win at Daytona. He took the lead before the yellow flag waved. Jeremy Clements has just won at Daytona. Timmy Hill is going to finish second, and AJ Allmendinger third. Jeremy Clements has won at Daytona. Riley Herbst saved his race car, but then he started coming back across the field. At the tail end of the pack, there were still cars running, so that's why the caution came out. Herbst had saved it, He got it corrected, but he was starting to come back across the middle of the racetrack, and there were still some cars that were up to speed going into the tribal, so that's why NASCAR had to throw the yellow. And Jeremy Clements had just passed A.J. Allmendinger right before the caution came out. Jeremy Clements is going to win at Daytona, and he's going to be locked into the Xfinity Series playoffs. Family-owned race team is going to go to victory lane today. 164 race winless streak for Jeremy Clements in the Xfinity Series from his first and only career Xfinity Series win. Now he is a two-time Xfinity Series winner, and he has won at the World Center of Racing. Jeremy Clements wins at Daytona. He got passed by Allmendinger, and he was able to get him right back. You're going to get to hear an interview from Jeremy Clements following the win of today's race. Quickly, we'll go through the finishing results so I can get out of here as soon as that interview is over. Jeremy Clements wins by 0.2 of a second margin of victory at the time of the caution over Timmy Hill, who ends up finishing in second place. A.J. Allmendinger in third, Brandon Brown fourth, and Sage Karam rounds out the top five. Ryan Vargas in sixth, Ty Gibbs in seventh, Alex Obey in eighth, J.J. Ailey ninth, and Kyle Sieg rounds out the top 10. Jesse Wuji in 11th, Mike Snyder in 12th, Justin Allgaier 13th, Austin Hill 14th, Riley Herbst last car in the lead lap, brought out that last yellow, finishes 15th. Joey Gason 16th, 2 laps down, Blaine Perkins 17th, Josh Berry 18th, 19th was Daniel Hemrick, Brandon Jones in 20th, Jeb Burton in 21st, 22nd Noah Gregson, 23rd Landon Castle, Matt Mills 24th, Justin Haley 25th, Ryan Sieg 26th, Ricky Stenhouse Jr. 27th, Cesar Baccarella in 28th, 29th Josh Williams, Bailey Curry in 30th, 31st David Starr, Anthony Alfredo 32nd, Mason Massey 33rd, Sam Mayer 34th, John Hunter Nemechek 35th, Sheldon Treat 36th, Joe Kraft Jr. 37th, Sammy Smith rounds out the 38 car field tonight. Jeremy Clements just getting into the tri-oval now. Again, you'll get to hear from Clements, the race winner, and then we will sign off immediately after that. Be sure to like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. Let's get to 100 likes here before the end of the stream. I'm not sure if we got there now. We had over 150 people watching at one point. Be sure to like and subscribe. 98 likes. Hit that like button, everybody. No live stream tomorrow night on the channel. I will not be home for the Cup race. I will get to watch it on the road. As far as and the burnout, by the way, is done, as Clements' team is going to come out, celebrate with him. His dad yelling at him in the window. He's celebrating. Cool moment, though, to say the least. For Jeremy Clements, the little team that could has just won again in the NASCAR Xfinity Series. Can you get to hear from Clements when he hops out of his race car? Taking every moment in. Can't blame him. But again, hit that like, hit that subscribe button. Ladies and gentlemen, we'll get out of here, and I'll end the stream as soon as the interview's done.
Look around you. There's Dad. His wife jumps in. And you, I know, can you believe it? You've won at Daytona.
I'm speechless, man. I don't even know what to say. It was, that's incredible, man. I mean, we were as fast as Xfinity Internet and it feels so good. I got allsouthtelectric.com, one-stop convenience stores. These guys have been with me forever. So I just want to thank them. Whitetail Smokeless, Fox Sports Farm, man, oh man, IFG, Workforce. I just can't, I'm sorry, I'm a little speechless. So we survived that big wreck back there somehow. It was like a Days of Thunder wreck. And then I was like, well, if we can just keep up with these guys, it'll be a good day. Top 5 and bring this car home in one piece, and that's a good day. But wow, this is incredible. Thank you guys so much for sticking around. I know it's late as hell. It's time to drink a beer.
Now, you waited there at the end, right? There were times when you could have gone earlier, but I know you waited. You played the waiting game, it seems like, to perfection.
Well, I just honestly didn't have the car to get up there. And I had a car to just stay with the pack. I couldn't really get in there, and I had to have somebody pushing me. So just trying to be aggressively cautious, and it worked for once. So I've done a lot of these speedway races, and a lot of them haven't worked out. So I guess we finally got one. It's incredible to win a Dave freaking Tona, man. Holy crap, Dave. Wow.
And Tony, you have worked a lot of years to get here yourself, and you are in victory lane with your son in this team.
Unbelievable, yeah. We just try real hard and push real hard, and I only do it because of him. And it's just amazing that he's able to pull that off. I mean, he just stays focused and, you know, does what he does and drives so smart and makes it happen. If he didn't do that, we couldn't race because we couldn't buy all this equipment constantly like some of them tear them up. But he does unbelievable, and we're so proud of him.
And I hope you saved a car or two for the playoffs. You're in.
Oh, wow. Holy, that's even better. Wow, we're in the playoffs. Dang, I didn't even really think about that. I mean, this has been kind of a rough year for us. We haven't had but a few top 10s and one top 5 maybe. And so, yeah, I mean, we just need to keep this train rolling, and we have nothing to lose. So we need to get some power in that hood. We're gonna freaking get to the front on these playoffs and try to stay up there and advance. But thanks again to Clements Racing Engines, JCR, this is a small team, guys. This means a lot to all these guys. It's just so cool that this is just super special. Thank you, Mark Setzer. Good job, buddy. Tony Clements, the whole crew. Again, Chuck Coon, Scott Ward, these guys. Without backing us, we couldn't be here, so thank you.
Small team, go have a big party. Jeremy Clements and Clements Racing in victory lane at Daytona.
Jeremy Clements is going to be heading to the Ruoff victory lane. You know, we talk about this being a family team. Well, Jeremy's grandfather, Crawford Clements, won the July Cup race here in 1964.
There you go. There's
AJ Foyt's crew chief. So it
all comes full circle tonight at Daytona. You heard it right there from Rick Allen. Thanks for everybody tuning in. I got to sign off quick. I have to wake up for work in less than 2.5 hours. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe for more daily NASCAR content. And I will see you guys on Sunday afternoon for either the NASCAR Cup race. If it gets rained out tomorrow, I will be able to do live commentary for the Cup race on Sunday. No stream tomorrow. I cannot do live commentary for the Cup race tomorrow night. But again, if it's rained out on Sunday, I will see you Sunday for that race. If not, 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, Martinsville, NASCAR 06 Cup Series next chase race will be the live stream if the Cup race goes as according to plan tomorrow night. Thanks, everybody. Enjoy. Have a good rest of your weekend.